The tiny home sits quietly in a small village, its walls holding the calm of the evening. Inside, a small family moves slowly as the day comes to a close. The room is softly lit by a single lantern, and the air carries the faint warmth of blankets and the lingering scent of food prepared earlier. Outside, the evening is still, with trees resting in the gentle night air, and distant fields stretching quietly under the fading light. The children are preparing to settle, and their movements are slow and careful. Every sound in the house is subdued, blending with the soft rhythm of breathing and the faint hum of the night outside. The home and its surroundings exist in steady alignment, forming a quiet, supported environment. This story follows the evening of a small, kind family as they move toward rest and quiet, with calm attention on the ordinary details of their night. Chapter 1. Begin by inviting the listener to settle into their bed. Change begins with a single honest moment of awareness, a quiet recognition that something in life needs to move in a better direction. It is in that soft realization, often in silence, that transformation starts to form. Before rushing to action, it helps to pause and truly see what habits are shaping each day. Some may feel small, like checking a phone too often or delaying rest until exhaustion sets in. Others might run deeper, such as negative thinking, constant worry, or the tendency to compare one's progress to others. These habits weave together quietly, influencing the way life feels, even when they go unnoticed. The first crucial habit to look at is the way time is treated. Many people fill their hours with tasks that keep them busy but not fulfilled. Mornings might begin with distraction instead of focus, evenings with fatigue instead of peace. Changing this begins by observing where time goes. Notice the moments spent scrolling through endless information, or the hours lost to overthinking. Becoming aware of these spaces opens room to breathe and reset. Once seen clearly, small adjustments can follow. Setting aside even a few minutes at the start of the day for quiet reflection or planning can change the rhythm of everything that follows. It is not about doing more, but about doing what matters with calm intention. Another habit that shapes life deeply is how thoughts are spoken inside the mind. Many people carry a quiet stream of self-criticism, often unnoticed but always present. These thoughts can drain energy and dull motivation. Replacing this habit means speaking inwardly with patience, the same way one would speak to a close friend. When a mistake happens, instead of harsh words, a gentle reminder can come. This is part of learning. When doubt appears, the new habit is to acknowledge it but not give it power. Over time, this shift in inner speech builds quiet confidence. It doesn't happen overnight, but it grows each time the mind is treated with kindness. Attention is another powerful habit to examine. Where attention goes, energy follows. Modern life pulls attention in many directions. Screens, noise, endless updates. This scattered focus often leaves the mind tired and restless. Training attention begins with single tasks. Doing one thing slowly and fully, such as making tea, writing notes, or walking outside, allows the mind to rest in the present. When attention stays in one place, stress fades. The mind no longer feels pulled apart by demands. This simple focus, practiced daily, becomes a new habit of calm clarity. Sleep patterns also hold great influence. Many overlook the importance of restful routines. Going to sleep at irregular times or bringing worries into bed can create constant fatigue. The crucial habit here is consistency. Finishing the day gently, dimming lights earlier, and allowing the body to wind down naturally signals the mind that rest is near. A calm environment, soft air, quiet surroundings, minimal light, supports this change. When sleep becomes steady, every part of life improves. The mind thinks more clearly, the mood lifts, and energy returns. Another area worth attention is how the body is treated. Habits of movement, posture, and nourishment directly affect focus and emotion. Hours of sitting without pause create tension that builds quietly. The new habit can be small, a short walk, stretching arms, taking deeper breaths throughout the day. These physical resets remind the body it is cared for. Similarly, noticing what foods bring energy instead of heaviness can bring balance. When the body feels lighter, the mind follows. Small, gentle physical habits form the foundation of lasting mental change. Distraction often disguises itself as productivity. Many people keep busy not to face discomfort or uncertainty. Identifying this habit takes honesty. Sometimes silence feels unfamiliar, so constant doing becomes a way to avoid it. The essential change is to allow moments without noise. Sitting quietly, even for a few minutes, teaches comfort with stillness. It becomes easier to hear one's own thoughts clearly. This new habit helps decisions become simpler, actions more aligned, and emotions more stable. Comparison is another subtle but powerful habit to change. Measuring personal progress against others often leads to discouragement. The mind begins to believe that success or happiness belongs elsewhere. To change this, the focus shifts inward. Each person's pace, strength, and story are unique. Appreciating one's small improvements each day replaces the need for outside validation. Gratitude grows from this practice, turning the habit of comparison into a habit of self-respect. Another habit that drains energy is overcommitment, saying yes to everything out of guilt or fear. This leaves little space for genuine joy. The change begins with clarity about what truly matters. It may mean declining certain tasks or setting boundaries with kindness. With time, this creates balance. The days no longer feel rushed or overwhelming. Energy can then flow toward meaningful goals instead of endless obligations. Worry is a quiet habit that easily grows if left unchecked. The mind repeats imagined problems, replaying fears that may never come true. Recognizing this loop is the first step toward peace. When worry appears, it can be acknowledged and then gently redirected. Focusing on what can be done now, however small, breaks the cycle. The habit of constant worry is replaced with a habit of calm problem solving. Over time, the mind learns that peace is possible even when everything is not yet certain. A crucial habit often overlooked is how rest and work are balanced. Constant effort without pause leads to exhaustion that steals motivation. The habit to build is mindful pacing. Short moments of stillness between tasks allow the mind to recharge. Even stepping away from screens for a few quiet breaths helps restore focus. This rhythm, effort, rest, keeps the mind clear and the body grounded. Relationships are shaped by habits too. Communication, tone, and attention determine the quality of connection. Listening without rushing to respond can change the entire atmosphere of a conversation. Showing patience instead of reacting quickly builds trust. When this becomes consistent, relationships feel lighter and safer. A calm habit of listening is often more powerful than many words. Another important change is the habit of gratitude. It softens the heart and balances perspective. Starting and ending the day by noticing small good things, warm sunlight, a kind word, a moment of laughter, rewires the mind toward contentment. It shifts attention from what is missing to what is already present. This simple habit grows quietly but steadily, supporting every other positive change. The way each morning begins also sets the tone for the day. Many rush immediately into tasks or screens, losing the gentle moments between waking and action. A new morning habit can be created, opening the eyes slowly, stretching lightly, and taking a few deep breaths before doing anything else. Allowing the mind to wake in silence prepares it to move through the day calmly. This steady beginning often carries through every hour that follows. Evening habits complete the cycle. The way the day ends influences rest and renewal. Preparing for bed with order, setting aside distractions, dimming lights, clearing thoughts, helps the body recognize that it is time to unwind. Reading quietly, tidying a small space, or writing down thoughts before sleeping can all signal closure. When this pattern becomes familiar, sleep arrives more easily. and mornings begin with greater ease. The habit of patience ties all others together. Change takes time, and expecting instant results creates frustration. Instead, recognizing progress in small steps builds endurance. Each repeated choice strengthens the new pattern. A missed day or moment does not erase the effort, it simply becomes another chance to begin again calmly. This patient persistence turns short-term adjustments into lasting transformation. Another essential habit is awareness of speech, not only the words spoken aloud, but also the intention behind them. Words carry energy. Speaking with gentleness, even in disagreement, creates peace. Reducing gossip or harsh criticism protects emotional space. The habit of mindful speech invites respect from others and inner calm for oneself. Organization, too, shapes emotional clarity. A cluttered environment often mirrors a cluttered mind. Creating a simple habit of keeping surroundings tidy can make thoughts feel lighter. Setting small routines for cleaning, arranging, or simplifying possessions reduces mental weight. The order outside gradually reflects inward, allowing focus and calm to grow. Finally, one of the most crucial habits to develop is consistency. None of these changes matter without regular practice. Doing small things daily, breathing mindfully, sleeping early, thinking kindly, staying patient, builds steady strength. Consistency makes growth natural instead of forced. With time, the effort feels less like discipline and more like balance. Every habit begins as a choice, repeated until it feels natural. Identifying the crucial ones is not about judgment, but awareness. Life softens when guided by clarity, not pressure. When the small daily actions align with calm purpose, everything begins to feel more peaceful. Each breath, each routine, each thought becomes part of a quiet transformation that happens slowly but surely. And in that gentle rhythm of improvement, life starts to feel lighter, simpler, and deeply real, one calm habit at a time. Chapter 2. Encourage slow breathing as the body starts to loosen and rest. The evening settles quietly, and the world grows softer with every passing moment. The room feels calm, still, and welcoming. The bed is ready, smooth and gentle, waiting to hold the body in comfort. The blanket lies nearby, warm and familiar, ready to cover and protect from the cool air of the night. The pillow rests beneath the head, steady and soft, shaping itself perfectly to the weight that sinks into it. The day is finished now. There is nothing that needs attention, nothing that requires effort. The body is allowed to rest, to settle, to slow down. The eyes can soften, the breath can deepen, and the stillness can begin to take its quiet place in the air. Breathing begins to follow a slower rhythm, calm and steady, like the soft turning of time itself. The air enters easily, filling the lungs with quiet ease, and then flows out again, carrying the last bits of tension away. Each breath feels longer and more relaxed than the one before. The shoulders ease down, the arms loosen beside the body, and the muscles begin to let go. The legs become heavy against the bed. The back begins to sink deeper into the softness, and the heartbeat becomes gentle and slow. The breath moves quietly, in and out, in and out, in calm repetition. Everything begins to feel quieter. The room grows still. The soft glow of a bedside lamp fills the space with gentle warmth. It does not shine brightly, only a calm, dim light that reaches just far enough to touch the nearby wall. The glow moves softly across the blanket and rests on the edges of the furniture. The air seems golden for a moment, touched by that simple light. Then the lamp begins to dim, the light turning warmer, lower, quieter. The shapes in the room start to blur a little as shadows grow deeper. The gentle circle of light fades slowly, and soon the room is wrapped in the calm comfort of near darkness. The soft dimness feels peaceful, steady, and safe. In that soft quiet, the imagination begins to form a picture. There is a small village far away, surrounded by open fields and low hills. The evening there is still and gentle. The light of day has faded, and the air is cool and smooth. A narrow path winds between tiny homes made of wood and stone, each with a single small window that glows faintly in the dark. The air carries the faint scent of grass and smoke from distant chimneys. Somewhere a quiet stream moves over stones, the sound blending softly with the quiet of the night. Every sound seems softened by the still air. The village feels peaceful, untouched by hurry or noise. Down a narrow lane stands a tiny home, just large enough for a small family. Lantern light glows from its single window, warm and golden. The window glass reflects a faint shimmer of that light against the dark outside. The lantern flame flickers gently, swaying with each slow movement of the air inside. The light touches the walls, the wooden table, the folded blanket on the floor. Everything inside seems still and neatly kept. The glow of the lantern makes the home look like a small resting heart in the quiet of the night. Inside the little home, a small family is preparing for sleep. They move quietly, each sound low and soft. The father, calm and steady, stands near the door, checking the latch before the night deepens. He pushes the wooden door closed, the sound of it quiet but solid. The cool air stays outside, and the warmth inside begins to settle again. He turns toward the room and sees his family readying themselves for rest. His movements are slow and peaceful. He sets a small piece of wood near the door for the morning, making sure everything is in its place. The mother folds a warm blanket, her hands moving gently. The blanket is thick and soft, woven carefully by hand. She spreads it over the sleeping mats, smoothing the edges with care. The faint sound of fabric brushing against the mats adds a simple calmness to the room. Her eyes move over the space, making sure everything is in order. The room is small, but filled with peace. A wooden table with a small cup and a loaf of bread from earlier, a few baskets neatly stacked, a gentle warmth from the lantern light still steady in the corner. She breathes quietly, her movements slowing as the night deepens. Outside, the faint sound of the wind begins to move through the nearby trees. The branches sway lightly, and the leaves rustle with a soft rhythm. The sound is low, almost like a whisper that moves gently past the window. It comes and goes in waves, never rushing, always soft. It blends with the stillness, a quiet reminder of the peaceful world surrounding the home. The air outside feels cool and clean, while inside the warmth remains, steady and safe. The two small children lie close together on their mats, their voices soft and tired. They whisper a few quiet words to each other, the kind that belong only to the end of the day. The sound is small and kind, full of trust and comfort. Their eyes grow heavy, their breathing slows, and soon their words fade into small sighs. One reaches for the other's hand, and they settle together under the blanket. The warmth between them fills the space with quiet contentment. The faint creak of the floor, the soft rhythm of the lantern flame, and the gentle breathing of the family become the only sounds in the home. The scent of fresh bread still lingers in the air from the evening meal. It is warm and comforting, mixed with the faint smell of wood and air that has touched the night. It adds a quiet reminder of nourishment, of simple fullness, of being cared for. The scent fills the small space without overpowering it, just a soft memory of something good and complete. The air moves slowly, steady, and mild. Inside the home, the calm rhythm of quiet breathing begins to take over. The father's breath, slow and deep. The mother's breath, calm and gentle. The children's breaths, soft and even. Together they form a steady sound, almost like the slow rhythm of time itself. The sound fills the room with stillness. Every breath brings peace deeper into the air. The little home feels warm now, safe and gently lit. The shadows are long but soft. The wooden walls hold the heat from the lantern. The floor is smooth and worn, clean and familiar. Everything feels in its place. The family has found rest, and the home seems to breathe along with them, calm and unhurried. Outside, the stars begin to appear. One by one, tiny points of light take their place in the wide sky. They shine steadily above the quiet village. The air is clear enough that every star seems close, shining gently without hurry. The light from them falls faintly across the roofs, the paths, and the fields beyond. The night grows deeper, and the world becomes even stiller. A quiet peace fills everything, from the sky above to the earth below. Inside, the family rests beneath their soft woven blankets. The warmth spreads slowly around them. The children are asleep, their breathing light and even. The mother and father lie close, the stillness of the night wrapping gently around them. The room feels smaller now, filled with quiet. Warmth. The blanket holds in the heat, and the air moves just enough to keep it fresh. The lantern flame flickers one last time, and then goes out, leaving only the faint light of the stars through the window. Silence begins to wrap around the house like gentle comfort. Every sound from earlier has faded away. The soft rush of wind outside has slowed. The leaves barely move now. Even the small creaks of the wood have grown quiet. Everything has found its rest. The silence does not feel empty. It feels full, like something kind and peaceful resting near the family. Time seems to pause for a moment in the stillness. The night deepens further. The air grows cooler outside, and the world grows even calmer. The stars stay steady. Inside, the warmth remains. Breathing continues quietly, slow and regular. There is nothing left to do, nowhere to go, only this gentle pause in time. The house feels small but complete. The walls hold the quiet, the beds hold the warmth, and the air holds the peace. Even the faintest sounds now fade into calm stillness. The wind becomes softer, the distant stream slows in its tone, and the soft breath of the family is the only sound that remains. The world outside is dark and quiet, the sky large and steady. Inside the home, peace rests fully in place. There's a sense of being completely supported, safe, and at ease. The body feels heavy in the bed, the mind begins to drift, and the edges of thought grow softer. Each breath becomes slower. Each moment feels quieter. The rhythm of peace continues, steady and calm. The tiny home stands quietly under the soft light of the moon. Its roof glows faintly, touched by that gentle light. The window reflects a pale shimmer from the stars. The trees nearby stand still, their shadows long and unmoving. The world is at rest. The little house holds its family in quiet safety. The night continues, silent and kind, carrying them deeper into peaceful sleep. Chapter 3. Describe the soft glow of a bedside lamp fading to dim. There's a moment each evening when the world begins to slow, and the softest light in the room becomes the center of calm. The bedside lamp glows gently, holding a warm golden color that feels alive yet peaceful. Its light spreads in smooth, quiet waves across the room, touching the edges of the walls, the corners of the furniture, and the surface of the blanket that waits for rest. Nothing feels rushed. The glow is patient, allowing the body and mind to sense that the day is ending, that comfort is near, and that nothing more is required. The light itself seems to breathe, steady and kind, wrapping the room in an easy calmness. The lamp's glow is neither bright nor dim at first. It sits in a perfect balance, steady enough to see by, but soft enough to soothe the eyes. The color is rich, almost like the final warmth of daylight before it disappears. The room takes on that same gentle tone, a quiet in-between where the last traces of the day meet the stillness of night. Shadows appear faintly along the wall, slow-moving and harmless. The air feels still, carrying only the faint scent of wood and clean linen. The small circle of light becomes the quiet heartbeat of the room, steady and warm. After a while, the light begins to change, almost imperceptibly. It softens at the edges, becoming smoother and less defined. The glow grows warmer as it dims, like it's folding into itself, preparing to rest. The brightness that once reached the corners now settles closer to the lamp's base, keeping its comfort near and low. The shadows deepen slightly, moving closer together until the walls begin to fade into soft gray. The air around the lamp feels thicker, filled with the quiet calm of the evening. The surface of the night table catches the last reflection of the glow. The wood shows its gentle grain, faint and smooth, before fading into the soft, dim light. The nearby clock face is touched by the fading glow, its numbers no longer sharp, but gently blurred. The rhythm of time continues, but it feels slower now, almost as if the light itself has taught the world how to rest. The fading glow invites the body to settle deeper, the eyes to grow heavy, and the mind to loosen its hold on the day's thoughts. As the lamp dims further, the room takes on a deeper peace. The ceiling above becomes a calm expanse, touched by only the faintest light. The bedspread gathers soft shadows in its folds. The curtains by the window are still, holding back the cool air of the night. The world beyond the window is quiet, distant, and slow. The lamp continues to fade, its glow shrinking to a small, steady pool of light that rests on the table like a quiet thought. The body feels its rhythm adjusting to that same slow fade, the breathing steady, deep, and calm. The soft hum of the lamp's light, barely audible, becomes the only sound in the space. It fills the quiet, not with noise, but with presence. The eyes follow the slow change in brightness, tracing the way the glow seems to fold back into the glass. The edges of objects around the room blur gently until shapes no longer stand apart. They merge into one peaceful stillness. The air feels thicker, softer, easier to breathe. Every inhale carries warmth. Every exhale releases the last pieces of tension. The light continues its quiet retreat, dimming until it feels almost weightless. The body responds naturally, mirroring that softness. Muscles loosen, shoulders drop. The mind, usually filled with motion, grows still. Thoughts slow down to the pace of the fading light, becoming fewer, quieter, simpler. The eyes rest on the final glow, no longer analyzing, only observing. The room feels larger now, not because it has changed, but because peace fills the empty spaces where thought used to be. The glow that remains now looks more like a memory of light than light itself. It touches the pillow faintly, spreading a soft hue that feels safe and familiar. The air carries warmth for a few moments longer before it too becomes still. The lamp seems to sigh in silence, completing its quiet task of guiding the body from wakefulness to rest. The darkness that replaces it is not sudden. It arrives gradually, like the closing of soft curtains. As the dim light reaches its gentlest stage, every surface in the room finds balance between shadow and faint glow. The edges of the blanket melt into the mattress. The floor looks smooth and endless. Even the walls, which once held light and shape, now seem calm and undefined. The last reflection from the lamp rests on the edge of a glass of water, making it shimmer faintly before the glow fades completely. The small sound of breath in the room feels stronger now, steady and comforting. The lamp's glass cools slightly as the warmth of the light disappears. The air settles, perfectly still. The quiet becomes deeper, thicker, almost like a presence itself. It feels full, not empty. A soft kind of silence that allows everything to rest. The eyes begin to close naturally. There is no effort. The body feels as though it's sinking gently into the bed, supported and held. The room, once touched by light, now holds the peace that the fading glow left behind. In this dimness, the memory of the lamp's warmth lingers. It stays in the mind as a feeling of comfort, like the last gentle breath before sleep. The heart continues its calm rhythm, steady and even. The breathing aligns with it, slow, long, and peaceful. Every small sound in the room becomes part of that same rhythm. The faint tick of the clock, the distant hum of night air, the quiet shift of the blanket. Each sound feels softer because of the lamp's absence, as though the darkness has absorbed the sharpness of everything. The body grows heavier. The eyelids relax completely. The space around feels wide and gentle. The dim glow that once filled the room has transformed into darkness that carries warmth instead of emptiness. The air no longer moves. Time seems to pause. The quiet glow is gone now, replaced by a calm darkness that holds everything in perfect balance. Nothing is missing, and nothing needs to be added. The softness of the night is enough. The faint shape of the lamp remains visible in the dark, only a quiet outline now. It sits still on the night table, peaceful and simple, no longer shining, but still full of presence. The body rests deeper, the breathing slower, the thoughts fewer. Everything in the room exists in quiet harmony. The lamp has done its work well. It has guided the space from light into peace, from activity into stillness. As the last trace of glow fades completely, the darkness settles fully, gentle and complete. The room is now a place of full rest. The air feels steady, the silence thick but kind. The softness of the pillow holds the head just right. The body feels safe, warm, and calm. The absence of light brings a deeper stillness that cannot be broken. The transition is complete. The bedside lamp, once glowing softly, has guided everything into perfect rest. In the calm that follows, the world feels smaller, quieter, and closer. The body lies still, and the breath moves as if carried by the rhythm of night itself. The lamp rests beside, silent now, a quiet reminder that peace can come gently, one dimming moment at a time. The darkness holds everything softly, waiting, quiet and complete. The night has arrived, calm and deep, ready to carry the mind into sleep. Chapter 4. Invite the listener to imagine a quiet evening in a small village. There's a calm beauty that belongs only to the quiet of evening, when the noise of the world softens and peace begins to fill every corner of the heart. The sun has already gone beyond the distant hills, leaving behind a tender glow that stretches gently across the sky. The air feels lighter now, touched with the faint coolness that follows the end of day. The light is no longer sharp or bright, it has turned soft, like a whisper that moves through the clouds. The world looks slower, gentler, easier to breathe in. In the distance, a small village rests between the fields, waiting for night to arrive completely. Along a narrow path lined with smooth stones, the sound of footsteps fades as the last few villagers make their way home. The earth beneath the path feels cool and clean, still carrying a trace of the day's warmth. Small lamps begin to appear one by one, in the homes scattered along the lane, their soft light glowing against the deepening dusk. Smoke rises quietly from a few chimneys, spreading thin lines into the sky that slowly disappear. The air smells of fresh earth, wood, and the faint sweetness of flowers that open only at night. The houses are simple, built from stone and wood, their windows framed by gentle curtains that move faintly with the wind. The walls reflect the last golden light of the setting sun, before slowly turning silver under the coming moon. A few doors stand slightly open, allowing the warm sounds of family life to spill into the air. Soft voices, quiet laughter, and the faint sound of dishes being set aside. The evening feels alive, but softly so, without rush or demand. Everything moves with ease. A small stream winds its way along the edge of the village. Its water moves slowly, glistening under the faint light of dusk. Each ripple catches the dim reflection of the fading sky. The sound of water is steady and quiet, a rhythm that blends perfectly with the stillness of the surroundings. The breeze that passes carries the coolness of the stream through the narrow paths, brushing lightly against leaves and the worn wood of fences. Every sound and scent joins together to create a calm that seems endless. In the center of the village stands a wide tree, tall and steady. Its leaves barely move, as though even the wind has slowed to rest. Beneath it lies a small bench, polished smooth by many evenings like this one. A lantern hangs from one of the lower branches, giving off a soft light that reaches just enough to touch the path below. The glow makes the air shimmer faintly, and the shadows around it stretch slowly toward the edges of the field. The ground beneath the tree holds the cool scent of grass mixed with dust. A few steps away, a gentle murmur of voices floats from a nearby home. Inside, the faint sound of wooden bowls being stacked echoes softly, followed by the clinking of cups. The family within moves quietly, the tone of their voices low and steady. Outside, the night deepens. The color of the sky turns from gold to soft blue, and then to a deeper shade that begins to hold the first traces of stars. A single bird calls from a branch, its note clear and brief, before silence returns. The path that runs through the village narrows toward the edge of the fields. The soil there smells rich and alive, still holding the warmth from the day. Small fireflies start to appear above the grass, their light flickering gently in uneven patterns. They seem to float in slow circles, their glow joining the faint light of the village lamps. The open field stretches quietly, with distant trees standing in calm shadow. The air is perfectly still. In one small corner of the village, a group of chickens settle near their coop. The sound of their quiet movement blends with the light hum of the wind. A wooden gate swings slightly with each gentle breeze. The houses nearby are peaceful now, their doors closed softly, their windows glowing faintly with the comfort of light within. The hum of evening life grows fainter with each passing minute. It feels as though the entire village is exhaling, releasing the day and making space for rest. The hills surrounding the village stand steady and silent. Their shapes fade slowly into the darkening sky. Beyond them, the faint line of the horizon glows for just a few moments longer before it too begins to disappear. The village sits within this calm, perfectly balanced between earth and sky, light and dark, warmth and coolness. There's a feeling of deep stillness that comes only at this hour, when everything that needed to be done is finished, and what remains is only peace. Inside one of the small cottages, a single candle burns on a wooden table. Its flame moves gently, casting quiet waves of light against the wall. The table holds a simple meal, finished and cleared away. The air carries the faint scent of cooked rice and baked bread, now mixed with the clean coolness of night air entering through a half-open window. The curtain sways slowly, brushing against the sill. A small cup sits beside the candle, catching its reflection, glowing faintly against the dimness of the room. Outside again, the sky has turned darker. The stars begin to multiply, scattered across the wide open space above. Their light feels distant but kind, steady and patient. The moon begins to rise from behind the hills, spreading its cool brightness over the rooftops. The reflection of the moonlight touches the stream, turning it silver. The whole village takes on a soft, dreamlike glow. The spaces between the houses are filled with shadows, yet those shadows feel safe and calm, not empty or cold. The air now feels cooler, carrying the gentle scent of the trees that surround the fields. The sound of crickets begins softly, repeating in calm rhythm. Their quiet song becomes part of the night, filling the silence without disturbing it. The faint sound of a door closing somewhere in the distance marks the end of movement. One by one, the lights inside the houses begin to go out. Each home settles into stillness, holding warmth inside its walls. The village feels smaller now under the wide sky, yet more alive in its quietness. Yet the earth seems to breathe beneath the cool air. The shadows stretch further as the moon climbs higher, turning the paths into ribbons of silver and gray. The sound of water from the stream remains constant, a low murmur that continues through the night. Even the wind moves slower now, brushing gently against the tops of the grass before disappearing again. Somewhere near the edge of the village, a wooden fence creaks softly, a sound so small that it barely breaks the quiet. The fields beyond are calm, their soil resting after a long day. The scent of grain and grass lingers faintly in the air. Far away, a dog barks once, then silence returns quickly. The stars above shine with quiet steadiness, unchanging and bright. The entire landscape holds stillness as though it has been wrapped in peace. Time feels slower here, as if every moment has stretched out to allow for rest. The night deepens, yet there is no weight in it, only softness. The village continues to breathe gently, every sound and scent moving together in harmony. Nothing feels separate. Everything feels connected by the same slow rhythm of evening. The stillness grows thicker but comforting, surrounding the entire place with quiet protection. The last lantern on the main path flickers once, then steadies. Its light falls softly on the stone path, revealing the texture of the earth and the shape of small pebbles. Each stone catches a glint of moonlight, shining faintly for a moment before fading back into shadow. The lamp's glow reaches as far as the base of the large tree, where it stops, leaving the rest of the path in darkness. The air is perfectly still now, the kind of stillness that encourages sleep and silence. The quiet evening in the small village has settled fully. The lights have faded, the voices have stopped, and the air is filled with calm. The stars above remain steady, the moonlight resting softly on rooftops and fields. The stream continues its low song in the distance. Every house, every path, and every leaf seems at peace. The night holds the village in its gentle silence, allowing every heart within it to rest. Chapter 5. Picture gentle lantern light glowing through the window of a tiny home. There is something deeply peaceful about a single light glowing in the darkness, steady and warm, reminding the world that comfort still exists within quiet walls. As night settles over the small village, one home remains softly illuminated by the glow of a lantern resting just inside the window. Its light is gentle, calm, and golden, touching the glass with a smooth reflection that flickers with every small movement of air. Outside, the world is cool and still. The fields lie in quiet shadow, and the narrow paths that wind between the cottages are wrapped in the calm hush of evening. But through that single window, the faint light offers warmth, a sign of life continuing gently as night unfolds. The lantern itself is simple, made of glass and metal, with a small flame that burns evenly at its center. The light it gives is not bright enough to reach far, but within its small circle, it creates a feeling of safety and tenderness. The glow presses softly against the window pane, forming a dim halo that spreads outward, fading into the cool air of the night. The glass holds a slight fog from the warmth inside meeting the chill outside, creating a faint mist that softens the shape of the light. From a distance, the home looks as though it is quietly breathing, the glow pulsing ever so slightly, calm and alive. Inside, the lantern light fills the little space with warmth. The walls, made of smooth wood, take on a golden hue that deepens near the corners. Shadows gather gently where the light does not reach, making the room feel even cozier. A table sits beneath the window, its surface smooth and worn from use. The flame's reflection shimmers faintly on the wood, moving in slow patterns that seem to follow the rhythm of breathing. The air carries the faint scent of oil from the lantern, mixed with the comforting smell of clean cloth, and the lingering aroma of bread baked earlier in the day. Outside, the window glows like a quiet heart. The faint outline of the curtains is visible through the glass, thin soft fabric that moves ever so slightly with the air. The night around the house is calm, the earth cool and still beneath a pale sky filled with faint stars. The grass near the home catches traces of light from the lantern, creating small specks of gold that vanish with the shifting breeze. The roof, covered with smooth tiles, holds the soft reflection of the moon, and the wooden door below the window is closed gently, keeping the cool air outside. The lantern's light does not try to brighten the night. It simply exists, soft and calm, creating peace without effort. The flame flickers now and then, bending slightly as if sighing, but it always finds its center again. Each flicker brings a new pattern of shadow against the wall, a small dance of gold and dark that moves in silence. The edges of the room blur slightly under this light, giving everything a feeling of softness, like the world has chosen to rest. A few small objects on the nearby shelf catch the light: the rounded edge of a ceramic bowl, the smooth surface of a wooden spoon, a folded piece of cloth neatly placed beside them. The glow touches each of these quietly, turning ordinary things into small moments of beauty. Nothing in the room tries to stand out. Every object seems content just to be where it is, resting in the soft presence of the light. Through the window, the lantern casts a faint beam onto the small patch of ground outside. The dirt path leading to the door glows faintly in that warm light, just enough for its texture to be seen. The small stones, the soft curve of earth, the delicate blades of grass along its edges. The glow does not reach far, but what it touches seems more alive, more peaceful. A few moths drift lazily near the window, their wings catching the light for a moment before fading into the dark again. Inside, the flame burns steady, its sound too faint to hear, but its rhythm visible in the way it moves. The light spreads across the ceiling, where faint lines in the wood form gentle patterns that almost seem to breathe. The air inside the home is quiet, neither too warm nor too cool. It feels balanced, calm, and filled with an invisible stillness that makes the body slow down naturally. The lantern's glow moves like time itself, steady, unhurried, content to exist exactly as it is. The family inside moves slowly, their voices low and calm. A mother folds a small piece of cloth near the table, her hands moving with quiet precision. A child sits nearby, eyes heavy with sleep, watching the light reflect across the window. The father adds a small piece of wood to the small stove near the wall. The sound, a soft click, followed by silence. Each action takes place in unspoken rhythm, guided by the calm light of the lantern. The glow reaches across the room to touch their faces gently, highlighting the peacefulness that comes only at the end of a simple, complete day. Outside again, the night deepens. The wind that passes through the trees makes the leaves rustle faintly, the sound carrying across the quiet land. The lantern light through the window seems even warmer against the dark backdrop. The stars above shimmer, their reflections faintly visible in the glass. The moon climbs higher, its pale light blending softly with the lantern's gold. Together they make the small home look like a resting place for peace itself, humble, quiet, and full of warmth. The lantern continues to glow steadily, never faltering, as though it understands its purpose. It holds a space between darkness and safety, between the quiet outside and the calm inside. Its flame bends gently whenever the air stirs, then stands upright again, unshaken. The shadows that form around the room lengthen as the night grows deeper, but they never feel cold or heavy. Instead, they move like calm water, fluid, natural, unthreatening. Through the window, the glow of the lantern becomes softer still, blending with the darkness around it. It no longer looks like a single point of light, but more like a quiet haze of warmth. The faint fog on the glass has deepened, catching the glow in delicate patterns that shift with each breath of wind. The reflection of the flame, moves slowly across the surface, creating a calm, repeating motion that soothes the eyes. Everything feels still, balanced, and at peace. The home itself seems to rest now, as if the lantern's glow has settled not just into the air, but into the walls, the furniture, and the quiet hearts of those inside. The light has become part of the space, merging perfectly with the rhythm of the night. Nothing moves quickly. The air outside grows cooler, but the window still glows with the same steady warmth. The village around remains silent, its houses dark except for this one tiny source of light, glowing faithfully through the deep blue night. Eventually, the lantern begins to dim, slowly and naturally, just as the body begins to grow heavier with rest. The flame bends lower, its edges softening, its brightness shrinking, until it becomes no more than a faint glow. Yet even as it fades, the warmth remains. The home feels wrapped in comfort, the world outside blanketed in silence. The glass window holds the final glimmer for a long, gentle moment before it too becomes still. And then there is only peace. The air is calm, the night full of quiet strength. The tiny home stands steady, its window faintly silvered by moonlight, the lantern resting after its long, gentle glow. Inside, warmth lingers. Outside, the land sleeps. The lantern has done its part, bringing light not just to a room, but to the heart of the night itself, calm, kind, and unbroken. Chapter 6. Introduce a small, kind family preparing for their peaceful night. There's a quiet strength in the way a home settles for the night, a gentle rhythm that flows from the hearts of those who live within it. In the small, simple house, a family moves slowly through the final tasks of the day, each action deliberate and calm. The father lifts a small wooden bucket from the corner and carries it toward the stove, placing it down carefully, letting the wood settle softly against the floor. His movements are measured, precise, and peaceful. There is no rush. The day is complete, and only preparation for rest remains. The mother moves beside him with equal calm. Her hands fold small linens, smoothing the fabric with care before setting them neatly aside. She adjusts a pillow on the sleeping mat, ensuring it is comfortable and supportive. Every gesture is quiet, controlled, and full of intention. The soft sounds of cloth brushing against cloth fill the room, creating a rhythm that seems almost as natural as breathing. The light from the lantern glows warmly across her features, highlighting the calmness in her movements. The air carries the faint scent of wood, fabric, and the last traces of evening bread, soft and soothing. Two children sit on their mats, rubbing their eyes as their day draws to a close. They move slowly, yawning gently, their small bodies still carrying traces of energy that now fade under the warmth of the home. The elder child reaches for a small blanket, spreading it carefully over the younger sibling. The movement is tender, deliberate, protective. Each fold of the blanket adds weightless warmth, creating a small cocoon of comfort. The children's breathing begins to slow as their bodies sense the approach of rest. The father places a small wooden bowl on the table, then steps back to check the door. He closes it with a soft push, shutting out the cool night air and holding the warmth inside. The faint click of the latch marks the boundary between the world outside and the safe, calm space within. He turns slowly toward the room again, observing his family with gentle attention. The way the light falls across the floor, the mats, and the edges of the furniture is steady, warm, and unobtrusive, providing quiet illumination for every careful movement. The mother smoothed the edge of the rug beneath the mats, ensuring it lies flat and comfortable. The children, now beginning to settle, tuck their arms beneath their heads. The mother moves to the small shelf near the window, adjusting a few items left from the day. Simple tools, a small cup, a folded piece of cloth. Each motion is deliberate, slow, and quiet, leaving no trace of disorder behind. Even the smallest movement seems guided by the calm rhythm of the room. A soft sound emerges from the corner of the room as the father lifts a small basket of firewood. He sets it gently beside the stove, the pieces of wood making a faint click as they touch each other. The fire within the stove flickers once in response, casting a low, steady glow across the room. Shadows bend and stretch in response to the light, moving slowly across walls and floor. The atmosphere is steady, protective, and calm, reflecting the care of the family as they prepare for the night. The children stretch slightly, then curl themselves under the thin, warm blanket. Their movements are quiet, protective, and steady. The younger one nestles against the elder, finding comfort in the closeness. Breathing slows further, becoming calm and even. The warmth of the room, the glow from the stove, and the gentle care of the parents all work together to create a peaceful environment where the smallest members of the family feel fully safe. The father retrieves a small cloth from the shelf, wiping down the table where the evening meal had been shared. The cloth passes smoothly over the surface, leaving the wood clean and steady under his touch. The mother places a final item beside the sleeping mats, a small bowl of water for the children if needed, keeping it close yet out of the way. Every task is purposeful and precise, yet effortless in its execution. Nothing feels hurried or forced. The space itself seems to breathe with quiet understanding. Outside, the wind brushes softly against the walls of the house, carrying the faint scent of grass and distant earth. The lantern beside the window continues to glow steadily, its light touching the edges of the room with warmth. The glow illuminates the children's faces, relaxed and calm, their small hands resting on the blankets. The parents move without breaking the quiet rhythm, each gesture adding to the sense of security that fills the space. The mother leans slightly toward the children, checking that their blankets cover them properly. Her touch is gentle, deliberate, reassuring. The father kneels beside them, smoothing the younger child's hair. The warmth of their hands, the calm rhythm of their movements, and the steady light all combine to create a space of trust and safety. The room feels complete, balanced, and steady, filled with the quiet presence of care and attention. The father and mother exchange a brief look, a silent acknowledgement of the day's completion. Their movements slow even further, preparing themselves for rest alongside their children. They adjust the lantern slightly to ensure the light touches the mats evenly, its glow fading softly against the walls, steadying the room. The air inside carries warmth, quiet rhythm, and the subtle scent of wood, bread, and cloth, forming an environment perfectly suited to peace. The children sigh softly, a sound of release as they begin to settle completely into the comfort of the home. Their small bodies relax, the edges of tension leaving with every breath. The warmth of the blankets, the soft illumination, and the calm presence of the parents form a cocoon of safety. The father steps back slightly, observing the scene with quiet satisfaction, while the mother sits beside the mats for a moment, feeling the steady rhythm of their breathing. The glow from the stove and the lantern mixes gently, casting a soft golden warmth across the room. Shadows bend subtly in response, forming a calm, rhythmic dance that soothes the mind without thought. Every surface, every corner of the small house holds the presence of care, attention, and quiet comfort. The family has completed their preparations, and the room has become a sanctuary of rest. The parents move slowly toward their own sleeping mats, the children now fully settled under the blankets. The father lays down, adjusting the blanket over his body, ensuring warmth and comfort. The mother follows, smoothing the blanket around herself and placing her head gently on the pillow. The room is full of gentle breathing, calm and even. Every movement within the space has been considered, gentle, and filled with intention, creating a rhythm that invites rest naturally. Outside, the evening continues softly. The faint sound of wind through the trees mixes with the distant murmurs of the village, fading into stillness. The lantern light through the window holds the home in a soft, steady glow, marking it as a place of warmth and care. The small family rests together now, every heart within the home calm, peaceful, and prepared for sleep. The space is safe, complete, and steady, a quiet sanctuary holding the gentle rhythm of night. In this small house, every detail is aligned with rest. The children breathe slowly beneath the blankets. The parents lie near them. The lantern light glows softly, and the air carries a quiet warmth. The home exists in perfect balance, full of calm and safety. The night is deepening, and every movement, every sound, every breath has guided this small family to the threshold of sleep, their hearts and minds ready to rest fully. Chapter 7. Describe the father softly closing the wooden door against the cool air. The moment when the day finally releases its hold brings a deep, steady calm that settles into the home. The father stands at the threshold of the wooden door, feeling the faint coolness of the evening air drifting past the edges. His hand rests lightly on the handle, steady and deliberate, knowing that the movement ahead will seal the warmth inside. Each breath he takes is slow, measured, as he prepares to gently close the barrier between the quiet house and the cool night outside. The air brushes against his skin, soft and crisp, carrying the faint scent of earth and grass from the path just beyond. He pushes the door just slightly, letting it swing forward with careful attention. The wood shifts with a soft groan, smooth but firm, making the sound low and comforting in the stillness of the evening. The father's movements are slow, precise, each millimeter intentional, ensuring that the cool air does not rush inside too suddenly. The light from the lantern near the window touches his. It enhance the edges of the door and the worn threshold, creating a gentle glow that highlights every careful motion. The door swings the rest of the way, and the father eases it into place. His hands guide the wood softly, allowing it to meet the frame without force. There is a faint click as the latch secures, a small but clear sound that marks the completion of the movement. The cool air brushes against the door's exterior, but does not enter. The warmth that fills the small home is preserved, steady and comforting. The shift between inside and outside becomes clear. The gentle, secure warmth of the house and the quiet cool of the evening air beyond the walls. He steps back for a moment, feeling the change in atmosphere as the door closes fully. The room inside feels heavier with warmth, the air calmer and more still. Shadows bend softly under the lantern light, stretching toward the corners of the room. The faint scent of wood, cloth, and lingering traces of food settles fully now, uninterrupted by the outside air. The father's hand leaves the handle, the contact, brief but intentional, leaving behind the assurance of a secure and protected home. The small hinge of the door gives a gentle creak as it settles into its frame. The sound is subtle but present, echoing faintly across the floorboards. The father listens to it, aware of the rhythm of his action and the quiet it leaves in its wake. Each movement is conscious, slow, and measured. The weight of the door, the texture of the wood beneath his fingers, and the slight resistance of the latch are all part of the process, and he attends to each carefully. As the latch secures, the father adjusts the alignment of the door just slightly, ensuring no gaps remain for the cool air to enter. His movements are minimal, precise, almost ritualistic in their gentleness. The air inside responds immediately, remaining warm and still. The children, lying nearby under soft blankets, breathe evenly, their rest uninterrupted. The mother continues her quiet task, folding small cloths near the edge of the mats. The entire room carries a soft rhythm, guided by the subtle, deliberate movements of the father. The door now stands fully closed, a barrier of calm and warmth between the house and the night. The coolness outside brushes faintly against the wooden panels, a quiet reminder of the world beyond, but it cannot disturb the safety inside. The father places his hand briefly on the surface, feeling the firmness of the wood, its texture smooth yet familiar under his fingers. There is a quiet satisfaction in the completion of this small but important task, a recognition that the house now holds its warmth securely, and the family can rest fully. Outside, the air is crisp and soft, moving slightly over the path, the grass, and the edges of the walls. The faint sound of rustling leaves drifts toward the closed door, muffled now by the thickness of the wood and the gentle seal of the latch. The evening continues its slow rhythm, the distant hum of insects, the occasional rustle of small animals in the fields, and the gentle sway of branches in the wind. None of these sounds disturb the room inside. They remain outside, separate, as the door maintains the quiet, warm stillness within. Inside, the home breathes with a gentle steadiness. The children's movements are minimal, their small bodies relaxed under the blankets. The mother straightens slightly, adjusting a pillow without waking them. The father stands near the door for another brief moment, letting his presence guard the quiet of the house. His breathing aligns with the soft rhythm of the room, slow and even, in harmony with the warmth, light, and gentle movement that fills the small space. The glow from the lantern touches the edges of the door, highlighting the grain of the wood, the slight indentation of the handle, and the curve of the frame where it meets the wall. The light flickers gently, responding to the smallest movements in the air. Shadows shift subtly, stretching along the floor and walls, creating an impression of depth and calm. The door now stands as a quiet symbol of security, separating the intimate warmth of the family from the cool, expansive evening beyond. The father leans lightly against the closed door, feeling the firmness of its surface and the subtle warmth that radiates from the room. His touch is gentle, supportive, and still. The air inside responds to the closure, heavier, warmer, slower. The soft hum of evening life outside continues, but it remains distant, a muted reminder of the wider world. The home has become a small, self-contained sanctuary, held together by walls, careful movements, and the steady presence of those within. A faint draft brushes along the base of the door as the latch settles completely. The movement is almost imperceptible, yet the father notices it, adjusting the alignment slightly to ensure the warmth inside remains uninterrupted. His actions are subtle, conscious, and deliberate, maintaining the steady calm of the house. Each motion, each breath, each pause adds to the rhythm of the night. The room now holds its quiet fully. The children rest, breathing evenly. The mother adjusts one final fold of cloth, and the father stands slightly away from the door, observing the gentle interplay of light, warmth, and shadow. The wooden door, firm and secure, stands as the final guardian of the evening calm. The lantern glows softly, the blankets hold warmth, and the air inside remains steady and soothing. The cool air outside continues its quiet passage over the village. The path, the fields, and the trees receive the night with patience, while the home remains untouched, serene, and warm. The door, now completely closed, seals not just warmth, but also the sense of safety and calm that allows the family to settle fully into rest. The home breathes gently with the rhythm of its inhabitants, held in quiet balance between the evening beyond and the gentle stillness within. Every detail of this simple act, the careful handling of the latch, the smooth closure of the wooden door, the subtle alignment against the frame, contributes to the safety and calm of the home. The father's presence reinforces the steady rhythm of evening, a silent promise that the family inside is protected. The house is full of warmth, quiet breathing, and the gentle hum of small movements coming to rest. Outside, the night continues its slow rhythm, but within, the family has been fully cocooned in peace, and the father's careful action of closing the door marks the completion of another step toward rest and serenity. Chapter 8. Notice the mother folding a warm blanket over the sleeping mats. There's a deep calm in the quiet moments when care takes shape, when simple gestures become the foundation of peace and rest. In the small, softly lit room, the mother moves with deliberate gentleness toward the sleeping mats where her children have begun to settle. The air carries the warmth from the lantern and the faint scent of the evening's bread, still lingering lightly, comforting and soft. Her hands reach for a blanket, thick and warm, folded neatly at the edge of the room, its texture smooth beneath her fingers. Each movement she makes is measured, slow, and unhurried, allowing the children to remain undisturbed in their first quiet breaths of sleep. She lifts the blanket with careful precision, the fabric sliding softly against itself. The gentle rustle is low and calming, blending with the faint hum of the night air that slips through the window. She spreads it across the first sleeping mat, smoothing the edges with tender attention. The folds form naturally under her hands, guided by deliberate motions until the blanket rests evenly, covering the child fully without pressing too tightly. Every fold adds weightless warmth, a protective layer that supports rest without effort. The mother kneels beside the mat, running her hands over the blanket once more to ensure it is placed just right. The lantern light glows softly across the room, illuminating the texture of the fabric and the gentle rise and fall of the child's small chest. She notices the subtle movements of the little body beneath, adjusting the blanket in response to the shifts of sleep. Each motion is quiet, deliberate, and filled with intention, creating a sense of calm that permeates the space. Once the first mat is prepared, she reaches for the second blanket, folded identically at the side of the room. The second child lies curled beneath the soft light, their eyelids heavy and relaxed. The mother lifts the blanket, allowing it to unfold slowly as she carries it to the mat. The movement is soft, careful, and rhythmic, creating a low, comforting sound that fills the space without disturbance. She spreads the fabric across the mat, smoothing the surface gently, ensuring every edge rests perfectly in place. The weight of the blanket is even, providing warmth that feels steady, reassuring, and calming. She pauses for a moment, her hands resting lightly on the blanket as she observes her children beneath. Their breathing is slow and even, their small hands tucked beneath the covers. The room is full of quiet light and warmth, with shadows stretching softly across the walls. The mother adjusts a small corner of the blanket, tucking it slightly beneath the edge of the mat to prevent slipping during the night. Every movement is intentional, full of care and awareness, contributing to the secure and gentle rhythm of the home. The air in the room is still, only carrying faint whispers of wind brushing against the window. The lantern light flickers subtly, highlighting the texture of the blankets and the smooth surface of the mats beneath them. The mother's hands move with soft precision, pressing the folds into place without any abrupt motion. The warmth from her touch blends with the heat of the blankets, creating a calm, protective environment. The children remain undisturbed, each breath deepening slowly, signaling the body's natural transition into sleep. The mother takes a moment to adjust the last corner of the first blanket, smoothing it to create an even surface. Her fingers trace lightly over the fabric, ensuring no folds remain that could disturb the comfort of the children. The warmth of the blanket is gentle but complete, holding the small bodies in quiet support. She shifts her attention to the second blanket, spreading it fully across the second mat, noticing the faint curves of the child's arms and legs beneath. Each fold is placed with care, allowing the weight of the fabric to settle naturally and evenly. The lantern's glow highlights every detail, the texture of the blankets, the grain of the wooden floor beneath, and the subtle shadows forming along the edges of the mats. The room is quiet, with only the sound of soft breathing and the faint rustle of fabric. Each motion by the mother is slow, mindful, and gentle, preserving the stillness that fills the space. The warmth of the lantern, combined with the soft weight of the blankets, creates a cocoon of security and calm. She leans slightly to tuck the edges of the second blanket beneath the mat, ensuring that the fabric does not shift during the night. Her movements are delicate, never hurried, maintaining a rhythm that matches the slow, steady breathing of the children. The room feels settled, filled with the quiet presence of care and attention. The mother straightens slowly, taking a brief pause to observe the mats beneath the soft glow of the lantern. Each child is covered evenly, warm, and resting without disturbance. The blankets, heavy enough to provide comfort yet light enough to move with the children, now cover both mats fully. The mother smooths one final ripple from each, pressing the folds lightly against the surface to remove any tension from the fabric. The room is complete in its stillness. The lantern continues to glow, casting a gentle light across the walls and floor. The air carries warmth and faint scents, and the children lie beneath the blankets, breathing evenly, their small bodies fully supported. Outside, the cool evening moves softly across the village, brushing against the edges of the house and the top of the roof. The wind is calm, the distant sound of rustling leaves and faint insects creating a background of peaceful rhythm. Inside, the weight of the blankets blends with the warmth of the room and the glow of the lantern, creating a seamless sense of calm. The mother adjusts her own position slightly, making sure she can observe the sleeping children for a few final moments before she prepares to rest herself. Her hands rest on the blankets for a brief pause, feeling the heat that has settled into the fabric. Each motion has been intentional, guided by care, and designed to create a peaceful environment. The children's breathing remains slow and even, their small bodies entirely relaxed beneath the blankets. The air carries the soft warmth of the home, untouched by the cool night outside. Every surface, every shadow, every gentle flicker of light contributes to the sense of quiet, safety, and calm. The mother steps back slowly, observing the mats one final time. The blankets are folded perfectly over the sleeping children, covering them with weightless warmth and gentle security. The lantern's light glows softly across the room, highlighting the careful arrangement of the mats and the subtle shadows along the walls. The room is full of quiet, steady energy, the rhythm of rest, warmth, and care. The children are completely supported, the air is still and comforting, and the mother's attentive presence adds an invisible layer of peace to the space. The final gesture of folding and smoothing the blankets marks the completion of preparation. The children are ready for sleep, the room is prepared for rest, and the warmth of the home is preserved fully. The mother moves slowly toward a small corner to rest herself, leaving the children beneath the blankets in complete security. Every breath, every fold, every gentle motion has contributed to the calm, protective rhythm that fills the small house. The night has been prepared carefully, quietly, and fully, ensuring that rest can come without interruption, soft, steady, and complete. Chapter 9. Hear the faint sound of the wind moving through nearby trees. There is a profound calm that comes when the world itself begins to quiet, a gentle rhythm that flows from nature into the home and settles deeply into the mind. Outside, the night carries the faint murmur of wind moving slowly through the trees, brushing leaves against one another in soft, deliberate whispers. Each sound is light and measured, creating a steady cadence that moves across the landscape without urgency. The branches sway gently, their motions slow and balanced, allowing the faint rustle to weave into the background of the evening. The air carries the subtle scent of damp earth and grass, mixing with the cooler breath of the night, creating a gentle, restorative atmosphere. From inside the small house, the sound of the wind is faint but distinct, barely audible yet grounding. It enters through the edges of the window and door, a subtle presence that reminds the occupants of the larger world beyond their walls, without disturbing the warmth and safety within. The lantern continues to glow softly, casting steady light across the wooden surfaces, and each flicker of shadow responds quietly to the faint movement of the branches outside. The rhythm of the wind becomes almost musical, a background hum that fills the spaces between the slow breathing of the sleeping children and the mother's calm presence. The trees sway in a measured, unhurried way, their leaves brushing softly against one another. The sound is layered, a mixture of light scratches and gentle swooshes, each note blending into a quiet symphony that stretches across the evening air. The sound changes subtly with each shift in the wind, never abrupt, never harsh, only smooth and continuous. A low branch brushes slightly against a neighboring tree, producing a soft, hollow echo that fades immediately into the surrounding calm. The wind carries no urgency, only movement, slow and steady, a signal of the natural balance of the night. Inside the house, the subtle noise of the wind seems to flow with the warm air that rises from the stove and the blankets. The children remain beneath the covers, breathing evenly, their small bodies relaxed. The mother sits quietly, her hands resting softly on the mats, aware of the gentle cadence that fills the room through the faint resonance of the trees. Even the father, leaning slightly against the wall near the door, seems to absorb the rhythm of the wind into the calm, steadying his own breath. The sound becomes a subtle companion to the warmth and quiet of the home. Each tree outside responds to the wind differently. Some bend slightly at the top, allowing their leaves to rustle in delicate, high-pitched whispers. Others sway at the trunk, producing a lower, smoother sound that resonates faintly through the surrounding air. The combination creates a natural layering, a soft blend of textures that shifts moment by moment. Occasionally, a small twig snaps quietly under the movement, the sound so light it is almost unnoticed, yet it adds a faint punctuation to the ongoing, gentle melody. The wind flows over the distant fields, brushing the tops of grass and wildflowers. The faint brushing sound travels across the landscape, reaching the small house like a calm, invisible current. The trees closest to the home respond first, their motion carrying the sound with slight delay as it reaches the wooden walls and the edges of the window. The interaction of the natural elements creates a dynamic, yet serene, rhythm that fills the night without drawing attention to itself. It is steady, quiet, and continuous, providing a sense of continuity and safety. Inside, the sound is filtered, faint but distinct. The wooden floors absorb much of the vibration, the thick blankets of the children prevent distraction, and the walls hold the warmth steady. The mother shifts slightly, moving her hands over the smooth fabric of a folded blanket, while the father adjusts his posture subtly, their movements aligned with the calm energy of the room. The soft murmur of the wind outside complements every quiet sound inside, the breathing, the slight rustle of blankets, and the occasional creak of the wooden floorboards, all merging into a continuous sense of stillness. The lantern light continues to glow steadily, its golden warmth contrasting with the cool, dark exterior where the wind flows. Shadows bend and stretch gently across the walls and floor as the branches sway. Each movement outside causes the slightest shift in light, creating a rhythm that mirrors the breathing inside. The sound of the wind through the trees becomes a natural guide, a quiet background hum that eases tension, slows the mind, and reinforces the warmth and calm of the home. A small cluster of leaves brushes directly against a nearby branch, producing a subtle, crisp sound that resonates faintly through the still air. The mother's eyes remain soft, aware of the faint noises without reacting. The father's hand rests lightly on the edge of a mat, feeling the steady, undisturbed warmth beneath his fingers. The children lie completely still, their small chests rising and falling in sync with the rhythm of the faint sounds that fill the night. Every movement, every sound, and every pause works together to form a slow, continuous cadence that encourages relaxation. The wind moves in and out of the village trees, brushing past rooftops and climbing over low walls. Its path is never linear, always flowing, twisting, and bending softly with the contours of the land. The sound changes subtly with each bend. A faint swish here, a soft scraping there, a gentle rustle above. The layers of sound combine, forming a gentle, natural rhythm that drifts into the consciousness without demanding attention. The world outside is alive, yet serene, providing a quiet background that enhances the calm and safety of the home. The lantern light continues to respond to the faint air currents, flickering slightly in response to even the smallest shift of air within the room. Shadows adjust as the wind moves the branches outside, creating a fluid pattern that is almost imperceptible. The subtle changes are mirrored by the gentle rising and falling of the children's chests beneath the blankets. The mother's movements, delicate and precise, follow the calm rhythm of the evening. The father remains still, breathing slowly and evenly, aligned with the soft murmur of the wind. As the night deepens, the wind carries the distant scent of fresh earth and leaves, its presence calming and unobtrusive. Each whisper of air against the branches adds texture to the stillness, reinforcing the sense of balance and continuity. The children remain fully relaxed, their bodies heavy with rest, the blankets above them holding warmth steady. The home, softly illuminated, becomes a quiet sanctuary, separated from the night outside by warmth, gentle light, and the faint, soothing rhythm of the wind. Every rustle, every subtle movement of the branches, and every soft whisper of leaves contributes to a calm and steady atmosphere. The wind through the trees is not harsh or distracting. It is steady, continuous, and soothing, blending naturally with the warmth, light, and quiet of the small house. It is part of the evening's rhythm, a quiet companion to the family's rest, encouraging slow breathing, steady heartbeat, and the gradual drift toward complete relaxation. The night holds the wind's movement like a gentle pulse across the village. Each sound fades slowly into the next, forming a continuous, calming cadence. Inside the home, the warmth, soft, lantern light, and protective blankets combine with the faint external rhythm to create a deep, secure sense of peace. The faint sound of wind moving through the trees becomes part of the room's heartbeat, a quiet, steady presence that settles fully into every corner, every shadow, and every breath, inviting the family to rest completely and peacefully. Chapter 10. Imagine the little children whispering goodnight and curling up together. There's a quiet, steady beauty in the way small children prepare themselves for sleep, a rhythm of gentleness that fills the room with calm and warmth. In the softly illuminated home, the children begin to whisper, their voices low and careful, carrying the final words of the day across the mats where they lie. Each whispered sound is deliberate, calm, and measured, a gentle exchange that passes between them without urgency or excitement. Their words fade quickly into the stillness, absorbed by the quiet warmth of the room, leaving behind only the soft echo of closeness. The older child reaches slightly, touching the smaller one's hand with a careful, protective movement. The gesture is slow and tender, unhurried, ensuring the younger sibling feels the presence of safety and comfort. The little hands intertwine for a brief moment, creating a small connection that holds warmth and reassurance. Each movement is minimal but deliberate, the children aware of the gentle comfort they provide to one another, without needing speech or explanation. They shift slightly under the soft weight of the blankets, curling toward each other. Their small bodies align naturally, finding positions that are comfortable and supportive. The blankets fold lightly around them, holding warmth evenly across their forms, the texture smooth beneath their hands and against their faces. The movement is fluid, precise, and quiet, producing only faint rustling sounds that blend with the soft glow of the lantern and the subtle creak of the wooden floor. The whispers continue, brief and careful, a final exchange of goodnight sentiments. Each word is low, rhythmic, and unobtrusive, fading quickly into silence. The older child adjusts slightly to provide more space for the younger, sliding closer to ensure the blanket covers them both fully. The younger child responds with a small movement, curling a little tighter, nesting into the warmth provided by the shared blanket. The interaction is gentle, precise, and soothing, reinforcing the calm rhythm of the room. The mother observes quietly from nearby, her movements minimal, her attention focused on the subtle adjustments the children make. The lantern light glows softly across the mats, highlighting the folds of the blankets, the small curves of the children's bodies, and the slight shifts of movement as they find positions of comfort. The warmth of the home holds steadily, the air calm and still, carrying the faint scent of the blankets and lingering traces of evening bread. The older child shifts again, tucking an edge of the blanket beneath the younger child's shoulder. The motion is careful and deliberate, producing only a soft rustle of fabric. The younger child moves slightly in response, a small stretch of the arms and legs before settling fully beneath the folds of the blankets. Each movement is smooth, unhurried, and precise, contributing to the gentle rhythm of rest that fills the room. The children's whispered voices diminish gradually, each syllable fading until the only sound remaining is the slow, even rise and fall of their breathing. The small, protective space they create together is quiet and steady. The blankets provide warmth evenly across their bodies, the lantern glows steadily, and the room holds a calm, gentle energy. Their breathing aligns gradually, creating a subtle, shared rhythm that mirrors the slow movement of the night outside. The faint murmur of wind through the nearby trees blends seamlessly with the tiny adjustments of the children, forming a continuous, soothing cadence. The younger child reaches out slightly, pressing a small hand against the older sibling's arm. The touch is light and steady, a reassurance that no words are needed to convey. The older child responds with a gentle shift, moving closer to provide a little more support and warmth. The blankets adjust naturally with each movement, their weight and texture forming a protective layer that enhances the feeling of security. The subtle, deliberate motion of curling together becomes part of the calm rhythm, steadying the room and supporting the transition to sleep. The children's heads rest lightly on the edge of the sleeping mats, their small faces relaxed and peaceful. Their eyes remain closed or nearly closed, the faintest flutter of lids signaling the final stages of wakefulness. Each movement is precise, gentle, and purposeful, focused entirely on comfort, security, and warmth. The room responds, holding a steady glow, soft warmth, and quiet presence, creating a seamless environment for rest. The mother straightens slightly, smoothing the edge of one blanket without disturbing the children. The father remains near the door, his presence steady, adding to the overall sense of safety. The lantern continues to glow softly, the light diffused across the floor and walls. Shadows stretch gently and without abrupt change, reflecting the slow, calm motions of the children as they settle fully beneath the blankets. The air is still, carrying the quiet energy of warmth, care, and protection, encouraging slow, even breathing. A faint sigh escapes one child, a natural response to the comfort and security of the shared space. The movement is subtle, absorbed immediately by the surrounding stillness. The older child shifts minutely, adjusting the blanket and curling slightly tighter, and the younger child nestles into the warmth, creating a small, intimate rhythm of touch, weight, and alignment. Each adjustment contributes to the seamless calm of the room, reinforcing the protective environment that allows rest to arrive fully. The whispers have now disappeared entirely, leaving only the soft rhythm of coordinated breathing. Each child breathes slowly, evenly, their small bodies relaxed, nestled together beneath the blankets. The lantern's light continues to glow gently, casting soft highlights across the folds of fabric and the smooth surfaces of the mats. The room is balanced in warmth and light, perfectly attuned to the quiet presence of the resting children. Outside, the wind continues its gentle passage through the trees, the soft rustle of leaves harmonizing with the faint, rhythmic sounds inside the home. The combination of distant nature and intimate warmth forms a seamless backdrop, encouraging calm and steady relaxation. Every slight shift of the children under the blankets is in response to comfort, not need, producing only subtle, harmonious sounds that blend with the slow hum of night. The children now remain completely still, curled together beneath the warm blankets. Their shared presence provides a quiet security that is felt even in the faintest movement of the air. Each breath is calm, each shift minimal and measured, and the atmosphere of the room is entirely steady. The lantern glows softly, the blankets hold warmth evenly, and the faint murmur of wind outside continues, merging with the natural rhythm inside. The night deepens fully, carrying the small family into a gentle space of rest. The children's closeness, their shared warmth, and their even breathing create a continuous rhythm of calm. The room holds steady light, soft warmth, and the faintest sound of fabric and air, forming an environment entirely conducive to rest. The children whisper no more, only existing in gentle alignment with each other and the space, curling closer, their bodies supported, fully prepared to drift into deep, undisturbed sleep. Every detail, the subtle touch, the careful curl beneath the blankets, the fading whispers, and the steady presence of warmth creates a seamless sense of calm. The children remain entwined, protected, and comfortable. The soft glow of the lantern, the slow rise and fall of their breathing, and the faint, distant sound of the wind through the trees combine to form a complete environment of rest, stillness, and security. In this quiet moment, the children are fully at peace, curling together beneath the blankets, ready for the deep, restorative sleep of the night. Chapter 11. Describe the cozy scent of fresh bread still lingering in the room. There is a quiet comfort that fills the room when the senses settle into the familiar and the warm. The air carries a gentle, lingering scent of fresh bread, its presence soft and steady, spreading evenly through the small home. The smell is mild yet distinct, a subtle reminder of the day's simple labors and the warmth of the oven that has recently cooled. Each breath draws the aroma gently into the space, blending with the faint heat of the blankets, the soft glow of the lantern, and the quiet rhythm of the sleeping children. The scent is steady, not overpowering, resting in the corners of the room and weaving lightly through the air near the mats. It mixes with the soft texture of the blankets and the warmth from the small stove, forming a layered sense of comfort that touches every part of the home. Even the wooden floorboards seem to hold a trace of the aroma, carrying it softly with each faint creak beneath a shifting step or movement. The smell is warm, light, and enveloping, creating an invisible presence that fills the room with calm. It lingers around the edges of the sleeping mats, resting near the folds of the blankets and rising softly as the air moves gently through the house. The children remain beneath their covers, breathing evenly, completely at rest. Each small inhalation brings a faint awareness of the bread, comforting and steady, without pulling attention from the calm of the evening. The mother's quiet movements across the room are also accompanied by the subtle scent, her hands brushing lightly over fabric and surfaces, carrying the warmth and fragrance in small, gentle currents. The father, leaning near the doorway, notices the aroma in the air as it settles around the room. It mixes with the cooler trace of evening air that drifts through the small cracks in the wood, forming a contrast between warmth and coolness, presence and distance. The scent is steady, constant, and unobtrusive, a small reminder of sustenance, care, and attention given to the household throughout the day. Every corner of the room holds a trace of this warmth, from the edges of the walls to the folds of the blankets, forming a subtle, enveloping layer of comfort. The lantern light highlights the faint trails of the aroma, casting soft illumination on the surfaces it touches. The wooden floors, the walls, and the blankets all seem to carry the faint hint of the freshly baked bread. The movement of the air, even as slight as a child shifting beneath a blanket, or the mother adjusting a corner of fabric, carries the scent gently from one area of the room to another. There is no hurry in the air, no sudden changes, only the calm, steady presence of warmth, fragrance, and stillness. The smell rests near the mats where the children sleep, providing a quiet layer of sensory comfort. Their small bodies beneath the blankets absorb the warmth of the air, and each breath takes in a faint hint of the bread's aroma, weaving it into the rhythm of rest. The scent is gentle, unhurried, a calm presence that does not require focus but contributes fully to the overall sense of safety, warmth, and home. Each inhalation feels natural and steady, aligning with the slow, even rise and fall of their chests beneath the covers. The mother moves softly near the edge of the mats, her hands adjusting the folds of blankets slightly. The faint rustle of fabric blends with the lingering aroma, creating a layered calm that touches sight, touch, and smell simultaneously. She pauses for a moment, sensing the warmth of the room and the comforting presence of the scent. The bread's aroma settles against the warmth of the lantern light and the air moving softly through the home, forming a steady, calm backdrop for the children's rest. The father's presence at the doorway remains unobtrusive but protective, adding to the stability of the room. The faint scent of bread drifts past him as the air shifts slightly with his breathing, maintaining a gentle consistency throughout the space. Every element, the warmth, the blankets, the lantern glow, and the aroma, aligns naturally, supporting the overall calm, steady, and secure environment. The room is held in a quiet balance, the smell of bread blending with the other subtle cues of evening, creating a peaceful rhythm that sustains without drawing attention. Even the faint movement of air through the window carries the aroma lightly, mixing the warmth of the home with the cool night outside. The scent spreads evenly without sudden changes, maintaining its gentle, comforting presence. Each rustle of leaves outside and each subtle shift of blankets inside helps distribute the aroma in soft, natural waves, allowing it to rest alongside the warmth and quiet energy already filling the room. The home holds steady, a space of calm and continuity, where every detail contributes to the quiet sense of rest. The aroma lingers near the children, reinforcing the feeling of protection and warmth. Their small bodies move slightly beneath the blankets as they settle fully into sleep, and each tiny adjustment carries the faint scent along with it. The mother's careful movements also shift the air slightly, spreading the comforting presence in subtle currents that touch the edges of the room. The father's steady stance near the door contributes to the overall rhythm, ensuring that the warmth, light, and scent remain uninterrupted, steady, and calm. The bread's aroma blends seamlessly with the faint scent of the wooden floors and walls, the slight warmth of the blankets, and the subtle energy of the home. It rests in the room without urgency or force, holding a quiet, steady presence that is comforting and familiar. Each breath taken in the room carries it lightly, drawing attention to the home's warmth and care without disturbing the calm of the evening. The subtle scent supports the steady rhythm of the children's breathing, the gentle light of the lantern, and the slow, deliberate movements of the parents, The home now holds an equilibrium of warmth, light, calm, and fragrance. Every detail contributes to the seamless presence of rest and security. The aroma of the freshly baked bread is gentle, consistent, and enveloping, blending with the quiet sounds of the evening, the soft rustle of blankets, and the faint, steady movement of air. The room becomes a complete space of comfort, the senses engaged lightly but fully in a manner that supports the slow descent into rest. The children remain beneath their blankets, breathing evenly, their small bodies fully relaxed. The faint aroma of bread rests in every corner, touching them subtly with its warmth. The mother observes quietly, adjusting the blankets minimally, while the father remains near the door, his presence steady. The scent, light but persistent, enhances the calm of the home, weaving into the soft light, steady warmth, and slow rhythm of the room. As the night deepens, the aroma remains, a soft, constant presence in the air. Each inhalation, movement, and subtle shift of blankets carries it further across the room, ensuring the steady, quiet continuity of comfort. The home holds all elements, light, warmth, quiet, and fragrance, in a gentle balance, reinforcing a sense of security, calm, and readiness for complete rest. The lingering scent of fresh bread becomes a silent companion to the slow breathing, steady energy, and peaceful environment, anchoring the room in quiet warmth and gentle presence. The entire space, from the edges of the mats to the corners of the walls, carries this subtle aroma. It rests in the air without drawing attention, forming a calm, familiar layer that enhances the sense of home. Every breath, every small movement of the children, and every gentle adjustment of the parents interacts with it seamlessly, supporting the continuous rhythm of rest, warmth, and security. The faint scent of bread remains steady, light, and comforting, creating an invisible layer of calm that fills the room completely, sustaining the peaceful night. Chapter 12. Invite the listener to feel the calm rhythm of quiet breathing. There is a unique stillness that fills the room when the quiet rhythm of breathing becomes the anchor for calm, when each breath moves steadily and naturally, creating a sense of steady continuity. The children lie beneath the warm blankets, their small chests rising and falling evenly, each inhale and exhale gentle, measured, and uninterrupted. The soft cadence of their breathing forms a subtle pulse throughout the room, a quiet guide that harmonizes with the warm light of the lantern, the lingering scent of bread, and the gentle presence of their parents. The mother's own breath follows a slow, steady rhythm, matching the softness of the children beneath the blankets. Her inhalations are calm and light, her exhalations releasing any small tension left from the day. The movement of air fills the room in a way that is barely noticeable, yet it subtly contributes to the overall sense of steadiness and security. Each breath carries warmth and calm, moving through the body and settling into the muscles, the chest, and the space around, forming a continuous, gentle flow of energy. The father's breathing aligns naturally with the room's calm presence, slow and deliberate. His chest rises lightly with each inhale, falls evenly with each exhale, and the subtle sound of air passing through the lungs is absorbed into the quiet atmosphere. The combination of the children's small breaths, the mother's steady rhythm, and his presence forms a gentle pattern, a continuous cycle of movement that spreads tranquility throughout the home. The air itself seems to respond, carrying the soft rhythm to every corner, creating an almost imperceptible vibration of calm. The children adjust slightly beneath the blankets, curling more comfortably into the warmth, their small movements perfectly synchronized with their slow, steady breathing. Each rise and fall of the chest is mirrored by the soft sway of the blankets, creating a visual and tactile rhythm that is gentle, smooth, and continuous. The room absorbs the quiet energy, maintaining a balanced atmosphere in which every small inhalation and exhalation reinforces the sense of calm. The lantern light flickers subtly, its glow soft and steady, responding almost imperceptibly to the gentle movement of air caused by breathing. Shadows stretch and contract in line with the rising and falling of chests beneath the blankets, creating a silent dance of warmth and light. The faint rhythm of breathing now becomes a guiding presence in the room, an anchor for focus and comfort that stabilizes the senses. Each breath carries a small, deliberate weight, neither heavy nor forced, simply steady and consistent. The warmth from the blankets interacts with the rhythm of the breathing, rising slightly with each exhale and settling gently with each inhale. The children's small bodies respond naturally, their muscles relaxing further with every slow cycle. Even the subtle sound of the fabric adjusting with slight movements blends seamlessly with the slow cadence of respiration. The room itself seems to breathe quietly along with its occupants, a living space of calmness, security, and stillness. The mother shifts slightly to smooth an edge of a blanket, her movements slow and deliberate in time with her own breathing. Each inhale fills her lungs gently. Each exhale releases tension from her shoulders and back. The synchronized rhythm of her body with the children's breathing reinforces the sense of continuity and security. The father, steady at the edge of the room, maintains a slow, even pace of inhalation and exhalation, his presence complementing the overall rhythm and supporting the quiet flow of calm throughout the space. The faint sound of wind outside is absorbed into the continuous rhythm of air movement inside. Each soft rustle of leaves, each minor shift of branches, harmonizes with the steady rise and fall of chests beneath the blankets. The gentle external sounds blend with internal movements, forming a layered cadence that is subtle, unobtrusive, and entirely supportive of relaxation. Every element, the warmth, the faint aroma of bread, the light from the lantern, and the soft rustle of air, aligns with the natural cycle of breathing to reinforce a sense of calm. The children nestle more closely together beneath the blankets, adjusting their positions minimally, their breaths synchronized as they settle fully into sleep. Each inhale is gentle, deep enough to support rest, and each exhale is slow, releasing any remaining tension in the small muscles of the body. The blankets respond naturally to their slight movements, the weight and texture providing a reassuring presence that enhances the gentle flow of air. The room's energy shifts subtly with the calm, steady rhythm of respiration, forming a protective and serene environment. The mother places a hand lightly on one of the blankets, feeling the subtle expansion and contraction caused by breathing. The gentle pressure is soft and measured in alignment with the slow, calm rhythm that fills the room. Each breath creates a small, imperceptible movement in the air and fabric, forming a continuous, tactile rhythm that mirrors the internal cycles of the children's bodies. This quiet coordination deepens the overall sense of security and steady calm, reinforcing the room's peaceful energy. The father, standing near the doorway, observes the quiet rhythm without disturbing it. His own breathing remains calm and consistent, a silent companion to the measured rises and falls of the children's chests. The subtle flow of air from the outside, mingling with the warmth of the home, creates a natural cadence that harmonizes with every breath inside. Each exhale dissipates softly into the air, while each inhale draws warmth and calm into the body, reinforcing the sense of steady, secure relaxation. The soft lantern glow highlights each gentle movement of the blankets and the slow rise and fall of the children's chests. Shadows adjust imperceptibly with every breath, responding to the energy of air and warmth in the room. The rhythm of breathing becomes the central presence, grounding the senses and creating a sense of unity across the home. Every subtle motion, every rise and fall, adds to a continuous, quiet energy that promotes further relaxation and supports the natural transition into sleep. The children's small movements diminish gradually as their bodies settle fully beneath the blankets. Their breaths become deeper and more even, each cycle reinforcing calmness and comfort. The rhythm is steady, uninterrupted, and continuous, forming a natural anchor for the quiet environment. The warmth of the blankets, the glow of the lantern, and the faint scent of bread all blend with the rhythm of breathing, reinforcing a sense of balance, security, and deep rest. The mother adjusts slightly once more, her hand brushing over the folds of the blanket in time, with the slow inhalation and exhalation, reinforcing the gentle, steady rhythm that pervades the room. The father's steady presence adds to the flow, each subtle rise and fall of his chest harmonizing with the quiet pattern of breathing in the home. The children remain completely supported, their bodies aligned with the soft cadence that fills the space. The air moves subtly with every exhale and inhale, carrying the warmth, light, and scent in a slow, deliberate rhythm that fills every corner of the room. The quiet cadence of breathing is now the dominant presence, guiding the atmosphere into calm, steady rest. Each breath, gentle and measured, reinforces security, warmth, and the natural energy of relaxation. The room is balanced, full, and steady, a perfect environment for uninterrupted rest. The children, the parents, the blankets, the light, and the lingering aroma of bread all merge with the rhythm of breathing, creating a seamless flow of calm energy throughout the home. Each inhale brings subtle warmth and reassurance. Each exhale releases tension and encourages further relaxation. The quiet rhythm of breathing is steady, continuous, and full, anchoring every corner of the room in a deep, gentle calm that supports rest, comfort, and the gradual drift into peaceful sleep. Chapter 13. Notice how the home feels warm, safe, and gently lit. There's a steady comfort in a home that holds warmth, safety, and gentle light, a feeling that rests fully around every surface and corner, touching every sense without urgency. The small house carries a quiet energy, balanced and calm, with the soft glow of the lantern illuminating the walls and the floor in a steady, even manner. Each surface reflects a subtle warmth, from the wooden floorboards beneath the sleeping mats to the edges of the table near the corner. The air itself feels safe, neither heavy nor empty, maintaining a steady temperature that blends seamlessly with the softness of the blankets and the presence of the family. The lantern light is gentle but sufficient, casting steady highlights across the room and creating faint, slow-moving shadows that shift imperceptibly as the air circulates. The shadows stretch lightly along the walls and floor, maintaining an even presence without abrupt contrast or motion. The warmth from the stove or small heating source rises evenly, filling the space without forcing itself, forming a steady background that supports rest. Every corner of the room holds this gentle combination of warmth and illumination, ensuring that the home feels fully settled and secure. The children remain beneath the blankets, their small bodies perfectly supported by the layered fabrics and soft mats. Each exhale from their lungs now carries a hint of warmth into the surrounding air, blending with the ambient heat and enhancing the steady, protective energy of the room. The blankets hold heat evenly across their forms, the texture smooth and consistent, adding a subtle tactile sense of security. The combination of soft light, gentle warmth, and steady breathing creates a continuous rhythm that spreads through the room, reinforcing the sense of safety. The mother's presence contributes to the calm. She moves with deliberate, slow gestures, smoothing the edges of blankets or adjusting small items without sudden motion. Her body radiates warmth naturally, reinforcing the steady heat in the room. The light from the lantern touches her hands and face evenly, highlighting the careful precision of each movement without casting sharp or startling shadows. Each adjustment she makes is aligned with the calm rhythm of the household, enhancing the overall feeling of security and comfort. The father, positioned near the doorway, provides a quiet anchor. His presence contributes to the overall sense of safety, steady and unobtrusive. The warmth in the room blends naturally with the subtle, constant movement of air around him. Each exhale carries slight warmth that drifts gently across the floor, mingling with the heat held by the blankets and the lingering aroma of bread. The room holds all elements in balance. Steady warmth, gentle illumination, and protective presence combine to maintain a feeling of complete security. The walls of the home seem to hold the light softly, reflecting it in a gentle manner that is never harsh or distracting. Each board and beam, smooth or textured, catches the glow and disperses it evenly across the space. The floorboards, warm from the stove and the movement of the family, carry a subtle heat that spreads gradually with each step or adjustment of the children beneath the blankets. The small shifts of air, caused by minor movements or the faint wind outside, interact with the warmth and light to maintain a natural, continuous balance in the atmosphere. The lantern's glow stretches to touch the far corners of the room without strain. The light does not compete with shadows, but blends seamlessly, creating a fully illuminated space that remains calm and gentle. The warmth of the air combines with the glow, forming an environment that feels protected and steady. Every surface, from the wooden walls to the blankets and mats, absorbs and reflects the gentle light in a soft, balanced way, contributing to the room's sense of security. The children's small forms under the blankets are enveloped in this combination of warmth and light. Each subtle shift of their bodies produces slight movement of air, carrying faint warmth across the mats. Their breathing remains slow and steady, perfectly synchronized with the surrounding environment. Every inhale brings in a gentle sense of security. Every exhale releases minor tension, and the room responds naturally to the continuous, unhurried rhythm of their presence. The scent of fresh bread still lingers lightly in the room, adding an invisible layer of comfort that blends with the warmth and gentle illumination. It complements the environment, providing familiarity and reinforcement of the steady, safe energy that fills the space. The aroma spreads evenly, moving subtly with each inhalation and exhalation of the children, and it blends with the gentle circulation of air around the lantern light and the stove. The result is a fully harmonious environment where warmth, light, and subtle scent combine to produce complete calm. Every corner of the room contributes to the feeling of safety. The wooden furniture, the edges of the mats, and the folds of the blankets all hold warmth and stability. The light touches each surface gently, and the heat is steady across the room. There is no sudden chill, no abrupt shadow, no harsh sound to disturb the balance. The subtle rhythm of the children's breathing and the quiet presence of the parents anchor the environment, ensuring that the home remains a place of complete, unbroken calm. The soft glow of the lantern illuminates small details: the edge of a blanket, the curve of a wooden beam, the faint texture of the floorboards, without forcing attention or creating contrast. The warmth of the room spreads naturally from these elements, touching the children, the parents, and the space itself in even, continuous layers. Every movement, whether of air, body, or fabric, aligns with the steady rhythm of the environment, producing a sensation of complete security and calm. The children shift slightly beneath the blankets, curling more comfortably as their breathing remains slow and even. The room responds subtly to these adjustments, carrying warmth and light across the space without interruption. The faint rustle of blankets merges seamlessly with the gentle glow and heat, forming a steady, uninterrupted presence. The parents maintain their positions, providing invisible protection, reinforcing the sense of home, as safe and wholly prepared for rest. The overall energy of the house is steady and balanced, Warmth moves naturally from the stove and blankets. Light spreads evenly from the lantern, and quiet presence fills every corner. The children's steady breathing contributes to the rhythm of the environment, their forms fully supported by the layers of fabric beneath them. The combination of warmth, gentle illumination, and calm presence maintains the feeling of safety, ensuring that the household remains a secure and restorative space. The gentle illumination and even warmth allow every detail of the home to contribute to its sense of comfort. The blankets, mats, floor, walls, and furniture all hold subtle heat, reflecting the soft glow of the lantern in a calm and steady manner. The children's bodies are perfectly integrated into this rhythm, their breathing aligned with the natural flow of warmth and light. The faint presence of the parents and the lingering scent of bread further reinforce the protective, gentle, and steady energy that defines the room. The home now exists in a perfect balance of light, warmth, and safety. Every surface, every fold of blanket, and every breath contributes to the gentle rhythm of rest. Shadows are soft and continuous. Light is steady and calm, and warmth is evenly distributed throughout. The room holds the family securely, allowing the children to remain beneath the blankets, fully supported and ready to drift completely into sleep. The gentle, evenly lit, warm, and safe environment sustains the sense of calm, creating a seamless space where rest is natural, uninterrupted, and complete. Chapter 14. Guide the listener to imagine the stars slowly appearing outside. The night sky begins to unfold slowly, revealing points of light that appear gradually, one by one, in a steady and gentle manner, drawing the quiet attention of the small village below. Outside the tiny home, the darkness deepens, smooth and uninterrupted, and within this calm expanse, the first faint glimmers of stars begin to show. Each light is subtle, precise, and steady, appearing without rush, and the gradual emergence forms a quiet pattern across the sky. The view beyond the window stretches seamlessly, showing an expanse that is both vast and still, perfectly matched to the tranquility of the home inside. The initial points of light shimmer faintly, small and clear against the deepening dark. They are dispersed evenly, distant yet approachable in their presence. Each star seems to hold a steady, unmoving position, adding a layer of calm to the evening. The cool night air outside is gentle, and the quiet movement of the breeze does not disturb the clarity of the sky. The faint rustle of leaves in nearby trees contrasts softly with the unmoving stars above, creating a subtle balance between stillness and quiet motion. As more stars become visible, the sky develops a gentle, unhurried pattern. The first few glimmers multiply gradually, forming lines and clusters that remain steady and precise. Their light is soft and constant, free from flicker or abrupt change, and each star contributes equally to the sense of order and calm. The points of illumination extend across the visible horizon, creating a steady canopy that mirrors the quiet presence within the home. The small house beneath holds its warmth and soft glow, protected by walls, blankets, and steady breathing, while the stars above extend the sense of peace beyond its doors. The children beneath the blankets remain calm, their breaths slow and even, untroubled by movement or sound. They lie in quiet rest as the light from the slowly appearing stars filters through the windows. The lantern inside maintains its gentle glow, blending with the dim night outside to create a balanced environment of warmth and quiet illumination. The soft contrast between the light indoors and the faint points outside enhances the stillness of the moment, supporting the sense of security and calm in the room. Each additional star emerges subtly, adding to the growing network of points across the sky. The process is gradual, measured, and precise. The home itself seems to respond to the quiet expansion of light outside, maintaining steady warmth and soft illumination. Shadows stretch lightly along the walls, adjusting gently with each subtle movement of the lantern and the air. The faint presence of the lingering aroma of fresh bread mixes imperceptibly with the quiet night air, complementing the serene scene beyond the window. The father, standing near the doorway, observes the slow unfolding of the night sky, noting the steady increase of light above. Each star contributes to the quiet rhythm, mirroring the calm inhalation and exhalation of breath within the house. The mother's movements remain minimal and deliberate, adjusting blankets and smoothing surfaces without disturbing the calm energy. The small family is enveloped in steady warmth, soft illumination, and protective presence, while the stars outside extend the sense of continuity, depth, and balance beyond the walls. The sky gradually reveals more clusters, their faint glow steady and evenly distributed. The children beneath the blankets remain nestled closely, synchronized with the rhythm of the household. The stars' steady light contrasts gently with the soft lantern glow indoors, highlighting the tranquility of the home without drawing attention away from the calm of rest. The combination of indoor warmth, steady breathing, and the expanding presence of stars outside reinforces a natural sense of calm and security. The cool air outside moves lightly, carrying the subtle scent of evening and the faint movement of leaves through the village trees. The gentle shifts in the air do not disturb the clarity of the stars, but create a soft, complementary rhythm to the home's interior stillness. The points of light above remain precise, unwavering, and evenly spaced, producing a quiet visual pattern that supports relaxation. Every subtle movement inside and outside contributes to a seamless sense of balance, steady calm, and security. The lantern light inside the home continues to glow gently, complementing the faint points of starlight outside. Each star appears in sequence, gradually filling the expanse of night with a steady, quiet presence. The warmth of the blankets beneath the children, the faint aroma of bread, and the soft shadows cast across the room maintain alignment with the growing network of light outside. The interaction between indoor comfort and outdoor clarity produces a full, steady sense of tranquility, anchoring the household in the rhythm of rest and observation. The children breathe slowly, their chests rising and falling in even patterns, perfectly synchronized with the subtle changes in light from the emerging stars. Each breath blends seamlessly with the soft glow indoors, the faint warmth of the blankets, and the quiet energy of the family. The rhythm of the night, both inside and outside the home, maintains consistency and balance, supporting the transition from wakefulness to deep, restorative rest. The stars continue to emerge gradually, forming a broader and more expansive canopy above the village. Their light is consistent, clear, and evenly dispersed. The cool night air outside interacts gently with the warmth of the house, emphasizing the protective presence of the walls, blankets, and family members inside. Each star remains steady, contributing to the growing sense of order, calm, and depth. The household remains undisturbed, fully immersed in the steady rhythm of warmth, light, and quiet presence. The father remains near the doorway, still and unobtrusive, observing the stars without movement that might disturb the interior calm. The mother's hands move lightly over blankets and mats, each gesture slow, precise, and aligned with the quiet rhythm of the household. The children beneath the covers remain fully relaxed, their breaths synchronized, forming a continuous, gentle rhythm that complements the steadily appearing stars. The lantern light and the points of starlight together create a subtle contrast that enhances the perception of depth and calm. The warmth of the room, the soft folds of the blankets, the steady presence of the parents, and the slowly unfolding night sky merge to form a cohesive sense of security and tranquility. Each breath, movement, and beam of light contributes to an unbroken experience of calm, supporting the children's transition into deep rest. As the stars fill more of the visible sky, the night achieves a steady, quiet balance. The home remains warm, softly lit, and secure. The children remain under blankets, fully supported by the environment of gentle heat, steady light, and protective presence. The faint aroma of bread lingers, merging subtly with the cool night air filtered through small cracks and openings. The entire scene, inside and out, combines to form a calm, harmonious environment where rest is natural, uninterrupted, and complete. The stars continue to expand across the sky in a gradual, even manner, reinforcing the steady, protective energy within the home. Every element, the soft lantern glow, the warmth of the blankets, the synchronized breathing of the children, and the steady points of light above, works together to maintain a sense of safety, calm, and continuity. The home and the night sky form a complete, balanced environment, a space where the rhythm of rest is supported fully, allowing the family to exist in seamless, peaceful alignment with the evening. The room remains steady, warm, and fully illuminated by gentle light. The stars outside continue to emerge at their measured pace, contributing to the quiet balance of night. The children, the parents, the blankets, the lantern, and the faint aroma of bread all exist together in this environment, fully integrated with the calm rhythm of breathing and the soft, steady light above. The home and sky together form a complete sense of security and tranquility, a space where rest is natural, deep, and uninterrupted, fully supported by warmth, light, and the steady appearance of stars. Chapter 15. Picture the family resting together under the soft, woven blankets. A profound sense of calm settles over the small home as the family lies together beneath the soft, woven blankets, each layer holding warmth evenly across their forms, creating a quiet, continuous cocoon of comfort. The blankets are gentle to the touch, their fibers interlacing softly, providing both warmth and subtle support to every part of the body. Each person's body sinks slightly into the mats beneath, supported evenly by the layers of woven fabric, allowing muscles to relax fully and steadily. The children rest close together, their small forms shifting slightly as the gentle weight of the blanket settles naturally across their bodies, holding them in calm alignment with the warmth of the room. The mother lies nearby, her body carefully positioned to maintain comfort for herself and for the children. The weight of the blankets across her shoulders and torso is even, steady, and soothing, helping to release tension and maintain a continuous sense of calm. Her breathing is slow and regular, each inhale filling the space with quiet warmth, each exhale reinforcing the soft stillness around her. The father rests close as well, the blankets draped across him evenly, creating a shared warmth that forms a consistent layer of comfort across the entire family. The textures of the blankets vary subtly, some areas more tightly woven, others soft and slightly looser, yet all contributing to a unified sense of steady support. Each movement, whether a slight shift from a child or an adjustment by a parent, is absorbed naturally by the blankets, maintaining continuous contact with warmth and gentle pressure. The home itself, steady in temperature and softly illuminated, enhances the sense of security provided by the woven layers, allowing every member of the family to rest fully. The children breathe in steady rhythm, their small chests rising and falling under the weight of the blankets. Each exhale carries subtle warmth into the surrounding fabric, which in turn spreads the heat evenly across their bodies. The blankets hold this warmth, forming a consistent, gentle presence that reinforces the calm atmosphere. The light from the lantern remains subdued, illuminating the folds of the blanket softly, highlighting textures and edges in gentle, consistent patterns, without drawing attention from the stillness of the night. The father's chest rises and falls slowly, and the blankets respond gently to the slight expansion and contraction of his body. The woven layers absorb minor movements, ensuring that each adjustment remains smooth and continuous. The mother's breathing complements his rhythm, forming a unified pattern of motion beneath the blankets that spreads subtly across the room. Even the faint shifting of the children beneath their covers contributes to the continuous flow of calm energy without creating disruption or tension. The scent of the evening, mingled faintly with the lingering aroma of freshly baked bread, interacts with the soft weight of the blankets. The fibers hold warmth, both physical and perceptual, allowing the room's quiet energy to settle into a natural flow. Each element, the even illumination, the gentle presence of family members, the texture and warmth of the blankets, and the faint, comforting scent combine seamlessly, forming a quiet, continuous sense of security. The woven blankets cover the family fully, their layers slightly overlapping in places, holding steady warmth over every part of the body. The folds are smooth and even, distributing pressure and heat in a manner that supports relaxation. The children lie close together, their heads nestled near the parents or lightly touching one another, forming a small, compact arrangement beneath the woven layers. The blankets maintain contact evenly, holding all four bodies in a unified, steady cocoon of warmth. The mother's hands rest lightly beneath the edge of a blanket, feeling the subtle shifts of heat and the faint movements of the children. The textures of the weave respond gently to these movements, holding warmth while allowing slight adjustments. Each movement of the family is absorbed naturally by the woven fibers, ensuring that no sudden tension is introduced. The father, lying nearby, also feels the soft weight of the blankets and the slow rhythm of warm, steady contact with the children, reinforcing the continuity of calm in the room. The lantern light illuminates the woven textures, creating a soft pattern across the surfaces, without disturbing the sense of stillness. Shadows stretch slowly along the folds of the blankets, forming gentle contrasts that remain constant and soothing. The combined presence of warmth, light, and woven texture creates a layered environment that supports calm, steady breathing, and deep relaxation. Each component contributes naturally, forming a continuous sense of comfort that permeates the room. The children adjust slightly beneath the layers, curling into positions that feel natural and supported. The blankets shift subtly with each movement, spreading warmth evenly across the mats and the bodies. The room's temperature, the gentle illumination, and the faint aroma of bread work together with the woven textures to maintain a balanced, steady environment. The family's presence beneath the blankets forms a cohesive unit, each person contributing to the quiet rhythm of warmth and support. The father's steady breathing, the mother's deliberate adjustments, and the children's subtle shifts beneath the blankets merge to create a continuous flow of calm energy. The woven fibers absorb and distribute warmth naturally, maintaining an even, consistent presence across the bodies. The room's light remains subdued, steady, and gentle, accentuating the tactile comfort of the blankets without drawing attention from the quiet stillness. Each layer of the woven blankets touches different parts of the body, from shoulders to feet, and holds heat in an even, controlled manner. The children's small forms nestle naturally within these layers, the weight comforting and consistent. The parents' bodies are supported fully, the blankets maintaining smooth contact without disruption. The shared warmth forms a steady presence that reinforces the sense of safety, calm, and security throughout the home. The subtle rustle of the woven fibers as the children shift slightly, or the mother adjusts an edge, merges with the gentle rhythm of breathing and the quiet illumination. The room absorbs these minor movements without disturbance, allowing the energy of warmth and support to remain uninterrupted. Each fold, layer, and texture contributes to a continuous, steady sensation of calm. The family now lies fully beneath the woven blankets, fully supported by their layers and each other. The warmth from the fabrics is even and steady, the light is gentle and balanced, and the room holds a constant protective presence. The rhythm of breathing, the faint aroma of bread, the subtle rustle of the fibers, and the even glow of light combine to produce a harmonious environment. Every detail supports the continuous sense of calm, security, and readiness for rest, allowing the family to remain fully enveloped in quiet comfort beneath the soft, woven blankets. The blankets, warm and supportive, cover the entire family with steady, even layers. The children, parents, and subtle movement of air work together to maintain a quiet, uninterrupted rhythm of calm. The room's illumination remains soft, the warmth consistent, and the woven textures continue to provide a tactile presence that enhances security and comfort. The family's unified rest beneath the blankets forms a continuous, steady state of calm that anchors the entire household in warmth, safety, and gentle stillness, allowing the evening to unfold completely into quiet, restorative rest. Chapter 16. Describe the silence wrapping around the house like gentle comfort. A profound stillness settles over the house, enveloping it completely in quiet, steady calm that carries the weight of gentle comfort through every corner, every surface, and every presence within. The walls hold the warmth of the day, absorbing it and radiating it softly back into the room, while the faint glow of the lantern touches the edges of blankets, furniture, and walls, without movement or distraction. The silence is complete, yet not empty, filling the space steadily with an unbroken sense of calm that supports each breath, each subtle shift, and every quiet thought. Outside, the faint rustle of leaves in the trees is present but subdued, absorbed by the structure of the home and by the heavy weight of the blankets that drape across the family. The slight movements of the children beneath the covers are softened and muted, blending seamlessly into the overall stillness. The combined effect of air, warmth, and steady illumination reinforces the quiet, allowing every occupant to exist within an atmosphere of complete safety and tranquility. The father rests in his position, chest rising and falling in slow, steady rhythm, fully integrated into the stillness around him. His presence is steady and quiet, providing support and reassurance without need for movement or sound. The mother lies nearby, hands resting lightly upon the blankets, feeling the faint warmth and subtle motions beneath. Her breathing mirrors the calm energy in the room, slow and deliberate, reinforcing the natural flow of quiet that surrounds the house. The soft, woven blankets hold the family in gentle contact, absorbing minor shifts in weight and distributing warmth evenly across their bodies. The texture of the fibers contributes to the stillness, holding them in place with quiet support and creating a tactile sense of calm that spreads steadily through the room. Every fold, every layer, and every contour adds to the continuity of the quiet, enhancing the protective and restorative energy of the home. The faint aroma of bread still lingers, subtle and unobtrusive, merging naturally with the warmth and quiet of the night. It forms an invisible layer of comfort, grounding the senses and reinforcing the steady sense of home. The gentle illumination of the lantern interacts with shadows in a subtle, unhurried rhythm, creating soft shapes along the walls and floor without disrupting the calm. The silence fills every corner, both inside and slightly outside the structure, creating a seamless extension of the home's protective energy. Each breath of the family members contributes to the rhythm of the quiet, aligning with the stillness in a continuous, unbroken flow. The children's inhalations and exhalations are steady and even, creating a natural pulse that complements the faint external movements outside the window. The mother's slow breaths are consistent and unhurried, while the Yiwei father's presence adds a solid, steady foundation. Every element exists in alignment, forming a quiet network of motion and calm within the larger stillness of the night. The house itself seems to breathe in response, walls absorbing warmth and light and radiating it evenly, maintaining a constant sense of security. The silence carries a subtle weight, yet it does not feel heavy or oppressive. It moves steadily through the air, touching every surface and every occupant, supporting their rest with consistency and precision. Each sound that is present, the faint wind, a soft rustle of blankets, or the distant murmur of night, is absorbed and softened by the room, reinforcing the continuity of calm. The children settle further beneath the blankets, curling slightly into positions that feel naturally comfortable and supported. The blankets adjust subtly, maintaining steady contact and warmth. The lantern continues to glow softly, providing gentle illumination that interacts harmoniously with the darkness outside. The layered textures, steady light, and quiet warmth form a protective cocoon, holding the family in complete stillness without need for interruption or external input. The father's subtle movements are absorbed immediately by the blankets and floor beneath him, each motion producing minimal disturbance and maintaining balance with the overall quiet. The mother's hands, resting lightly on the woven fibers, feel the faint shifts beneath, and her calm attention reinforces the sense of order and security. Each small adjustment of the children's position or the family's slight movement interacts naturally with the ambient warmth, light, and texture, sustaining the unbroken continuity of silence. The evening deepens, and the night air outside becomes more stable, carrying only faint, soft sounds that blend with the interior stillness. The stars remain faintly visible through the window, their points of light steady and unchanging, contributing to the quiet atmosphere without drawing attention away from the warmth and calm inside. The room's energy continues to hold firm, the home itself extending the quiet, protective presence of its walls, lantern, blankets, and human occupants. The woven textures of the blankets absorb and distribute minor motions and heat evenly, reinforcing the silent energy that wraps the house. The children remain in gentle alignment with their parents, their bodies fully supported, their breathing calm and steady. Each exhale disperses gently into the surrounding warmth, and each inhale draws in calm energy that reinforces the stillness. The house is quiet, balanced, and continuous, holding its occupants in complete, gentle comfort. The silence grows more pronounced, encompassing both interior and exterior spaces. Every wall, every blanket, every surface, and every breath contributes to a single, steady, unbroken layer of calm. Even the faint rustle of the wind outside is absorbed seamlessly, creating no disturbance and no sensation of hurry. The ambient quiet is a presence itself, steady and protective, holding the house and its inhabitants in an invisible, encompassing calm. The children's chests rise and fall in perfect rhythm, the blankets maintaining consistent contact and warmth across every part of their bodies. The mother's slow, deliberate breathing mirrors their rhythm, while the father provides a steady, silent foundation. Each component, the woven blankets, the lantern's soft light, the warmth of the air, the faint scent of bread, and the quiet presence of family, works in harmony to sustain the sense of complete calm. The lantern's gentle glow forms soft, stationary shapes across the room, interacting subtly with shadows in a steady and unhurried manner. The blankets maintain their woven texture and warmth across the family, distributing heat evenly while holding each body in alignment with the calm. Each breath, every slight adjustment, and each subtle movement contributes naturally to the continuity of silence, reinforcing the protective and gentle energy that defines the home. The night stretches evenly around the house, fully encompassing it in protective stillness. The home radiates warmth, comfort, and steady illumination, while the family beneath the blankets remains perfectly supported, The silence is complete, steady, and encompassing, filling the space between objects, people, and air. Every element of the household, the steady breathing, the soft textures, the gentle light, the faint aroma, and the surrounding air, works together to form a single, unbroken state of calm. The children settle entirely beneath the blankets, their small forms aligned with the quiet rhythm of the room. The father's presence remains steady and unchanging, and the mother's movements are minimal and deliberate. The woven layers of the blankets hold steady warmth and gentle support, while the faint external sounds of the night are absorbed and softened. The silence envelops the house, fully, steady, and continuous, forming a protective, gentle comfort that sustains every occupant in restful, uninterrupted calm. Every surface, every layer of blanket, every breath, and every faint sound merges seamlessly into the silence that wraps around the house. The home is balanced, warm, softly illuminated, and perfectly secure. The family rests beneath the woven blankets, fully supported, while the stillness of the night extends steadily outward. The quiet is absolute, yet gentle, a continuous, encompassing presence that maintains calm, security, and deep, restorative rest throughout the home. Chapter 17. Invite a deep breath as the night deepens and everything slows. The night deepens gradually, bringing with it a quiet rhythm that encourages the body and mind to settle fully into rest, allowing a single, deep breath to extend through every part of the room, through every corner of the home, and through every layer of the soft blankets enveloping the family. The air inside the house is still and cool, carrying the subtle warmth of the lantern and the soft weight of the woven blankets. Each inhalation draws this steady warmth and calm into the body, filling the lungs evenly, and each exhalation releases tension naturally, without effort, supporting the gradual slowing of every motion and every thought. The father lies quietly, chest rising and falling with measured precision, each breath extending slowly from the lower torso to the upper chest. His presence forms a steady anchor for the household, and the depth of his breath resonates subtly through the room, aligning the rhythm of calm with every other movement. The mother rests nearby, her breathing synchronized gently with his, drawing air in with deliberate ease and letting it out in quiet, controlled exhalations that ripple across the stillness of the blankets and the room. The children, nestled beneath the woven layers, adjust slightly, their small chests expanding and contracting with long, steady breaths that mirror the quiet energy surrounding them. Each breath is full and complete, carrying with it the gentle heat of the room, the soft weight of the blankets, and the presence of the family around them. The night slows further, each second stretching gently, forming a continuous wave of calm that washes evenly over all living and inanimate things in the house. The air itself seems to move more slowly as the night deepens, carrying faint, soft sounds from the outside only to be absorbed and softened by the walls and windows. The faint rustle of leaves, the distant whisper of wind, and the occasional creak of wood are all drawn into the stillness, their presence steady, unobtrusive, and perfectly aligned with the rhythm of deep, intentional breathing. Each inhalation draws the calm in, filling the lungs with gentle assurance, and each exhalation allows the body to settle further into the supportive weight of the blankets. The woven textures of the blankets beneath the family maintain constant contact, distributing warmth and pressure evenly. Each shift, no matter how minor, is absorbed with ease, ensuring that the body remains aligned and fully supported. The gradual slowing of the night encourages the muscles to loosen, the heart rate to slow, and the mind to settle into a quiet focus on the rhythm of breathing. The lantern casts a faint, steady glow, illuminating the textures of the blankets and the contours of each resting form without disruption, blending seamlessly into the deepening darkness outside. The father takes another long, deliberate inhalation, expanding the lungs fully and feeling the calm energy extend throughout his body. The exhale follows naturally, steady and measured, releasing tension from shoulders, back, and torso. The mother's inhalation follows shortly after, equally measured, and her exhalation flows into the room, merging imperceptibly with the father's rhythm and the subtle presence of the children's breathing. Each inhalation draws in warmth, quiet, and comfort, while each exhalation removes subtle traces of remaining tension, forming a continuous cycle of support and rest. The children's small movements gradually lessen as their breathing deepens and slows further, their bodies sinking comfortably into the mats beneath the blankets. Their inhalations draw in steady warmth and calm, and their exhalations carry away minor restlessness. The deepening night seems to guide this rhythm, extending the pause between each breath slightly, allowing a sense of full support and gentle release to permeate the room. The quiet is steady, uninterrupted, and complete, stretching evenly across the entire household. The walls of the home radiate the warmth absorbed during the day, supporting the steady slowing of the night and encouraging longer, fuller breaths. Each inhalation brings in warmth, subtle scents, and the protective presence of the room, while each exhalation releases tension into the quiet space, absorbed and muted by the walls and soft furnishings. The blankets maintain gentle contact with the body, reinforcing the slow pace of motion, the deepening of breaths, and the natural reduction of activity throughout the household. The father's breath becomes even slower, more deliberate, each inhalation drawing in calm fully from the surrounding air. His exhalation continues evenly, lengthening naturally as the night slows. The mother's breaths mirror his, synchronizing unconsciously with the rhythm of the room and the slow unfolding of the night outside. The children's inhalations and exhalations fall in line, forming a single, continuous wave of calm and steady motion that moves imperceptibly through the space. The faint glow of the lantern highlights the gentle folds of the blankets and the resting forms beneath them, enhancing the perception of warmth and comfort. Shadows shift only slightly, imperceptibly, as the night deepens, reinforcing the stillness rather than disrupting it. Each breath now feels longer, fuller, and more natural, flowing from the lower abdomen to the upper chest and back, aligning perfectly with the steady rhythm of the quiet house. The night air outside presses lightly against the windows, cool but steady, carrying the faintest hints of movement from distant trees and soft landscapes. This movement is absorbed by the home, creating a seamless interaction between the still interior and the subtle activity outside. Each breath, each exhalation interacts naturally with this environment, supporting the slowing of time and the deepening of calm within the household. The children's bodies nestle fully into the blankets, their forms relaxed and aligned. The father remains steady, his breath a constant, rhythmic presence. The mother's slow, deliberate breathing flows evenly, creating a soft pulse of calm that travels across the room. Each inhale brings warmth, assurance, and comfort. Each exhale releases remaining tension, allowing muscles to loosen further and minds to settle completely into rest. The blanket's woven layers hold the family in gentle alignment, absorbing subtle movements and distributing warmth consistently. The room maintains steady illumination, and the faint aroma of bread continues to merge with the deepening night, creating a full environment of calm support. Every component, the steady breathing, the gentle warmth, the subtle light, and the deepening silence, interacts to reinforce the slowing pace of the night and the readiness for complete rest. The family inhales deeply once more, drawing warmth and calm fully into the body. The exhale is slow, extended, and even, releasing tension with every fraction of breath. The night outside continues to slow, and every element within the home mirrors this pace. Breaths lengthen naturally, movements soften, and the energy of the household settles into a uniform, gentle rhythm that supports rest at the deepest level. The slow rhythm of inhalation and exhalation continues, perfectly in sync with the deepening night. The father, mother, and children all exist in this steady cycle, reinforced by the weight of blankets, the warmth of the room, the gentle illumination, and the quiet that surrounds the house. Each breath draws calm inward and releases tension outward, forming a continuous, uninterrupted flow of relaxation that fills every space, every surface, and every body. The night grows heavier, slower, and more deliberate, matching the extended, deep breaths of the family. The entire home moves into a state of continuous calm, where every sensation, weight, warmth, light, and air works harmoniously with the slow, full rhythm of breathing. Each inhalation fills the room with steady energy. Each exhalation releases the final traces of tension, creating a unified, peaceful, and fully supported environment. The deep breath taken now carries the full weight of the evening's calm. The family, under soft blankets, illuminated gently and held in the quiet, continues in this rhythm. Every motion is slow, every sound softened, every breath extended, and every layer of warmth maintained, allowing the household to exist in complete alignment with the night, fully ready for uninterrupted, restorative rest. Chapter 18. Notice how even the small sounds now fade into calm stillness. The quiet deepens until even the smallest sounds soften, fading gradually into a calm stillness that fills every corner of the house, holding every presence beneath a steady, uninterrupted sense of comfort. The faint movements of the children beneath their blankets are barely perceptible, each shift absorbed gently by the soft layers that maintain warmth and steady support. The room exists in a uniform state of calm, where every slight noise, every subtle shift, and every breath blends naturally into the surrounding quiet, leaving no abrupt interruptions. The father remains in place, his slow, measured breathing a consistent anchor within the room. Each inhale draws in the warmth of the blankets and the faint energy of the lantern, filling the body with steady calm. Each exhale releases the slightest traces of tension, carried quietly into the surrounding space and absorbed by the room. The mother rests nearby, her breathing synchronized with his, creating a shared rhythm that extends a subtle, steady wave of quiet through the household. Outside, the faint rustle of leaves, once more noticeable, now blends entirely into the pervasive stillness. The wind carries no abrupt sounds, only a continuous, gentle presence that merges with the warmth and calm of the home. Every soft creak of wood, every minor shuffle of the blankets, and even the quiet settling of the floorboards are absorbed naturally, fading completely into the atmosphere of tranquility. The room maintains balance, holding steady warmth, light, and tactile support for each occupant. The children, nestled close together, breathe evenly, their inhalations and exhalations slow and steady. Their bodies sink gently into the mats beneath the blankets, each subtle motion absorbed by the woven layers. The blankets provide continuous, even contact, supporting the children fully while allowing the body to remain completely relaxed. Their soft breathing merges seamlessly with the fading background sounds, forming a single, uninterrupted flow of calm that fills the space. The lantern's glow is steady and subdued, casting gentle illumination that interacts softly with the folds of the blankets and the contours of each resting form. Shadows remain fixed and steady, without abrupt movement or distraction. The light enhances the perception of warmth and safety, reinforcing the fading of all minor sounds into stillness. The room holds its presence completely, each surface, each object, and every layer of warmth working together to maintain the quiet that now dominates the environment. The father's chest rises and falls in deliberate rhythm, each breath full, measured, and deep. The exhalation extends slowly, carrying tension quietly away, leaving only calm in its place. The mother's breathing mirrors his, slightly offset but consistent in pace and depth, forming a subtle synchronization that spreads through the room and influences the rhythm of the children's breathing. Each inhalation draws calm energy in, while each exhalation allows minor sensations, slight restlessness, or tension to dissipate into the silent environment. The room absorbs all minor sounds that remain, from the faint creak of a floorboard to the soft swish of blankets as the children adjust slightly. Even the softest noises lose their sharpness and blend fully into the calm that envelops the house. The steady glow of the lantern, the warmth of the blankets, and the gentle rhythm of breathing form a continuous protective presence that minimizes disruption and maximizes the perception of quiet. The children's movements gradually reduce further, their bodies fully settled beneath the blankets. Each breath becomes longer, fuller, and more deliberate, forming a smooth, continuous cycle that aligns with the steady presence of warmth and light in the room. The father remains completely still, except for the rhythmic rise and fall of his chest, and the mother's hands rest lightly on the blankets, sensing the subtle, calm presence of the children and the room without causing disturbance. Even the ambient sounds outside, such as the distant shift of leaves or faint wind across the landscape, are absorbed and muted by the structure of the home and the weight of blankets and warmth. The small noises that once marked the boundaries of the night are now unnoticeable, merging entirely into the pervasive stillness. The atmosphere holds steady, allowing each occupant to exist fully in the flow of calm without distraction. The blankets continue to provide gentle pressure and steady warmth across every part of the body, absorbing any minor shifts without interrupting the rhythm of the room. Each fiber and fold maintains even contact with the family, supporting full relaxation. The subtle weight contributes to the perception of complete stillness, encouraging longer, smoother breaths and reinforcing the fading of any remaining sounds. The father's inhalation expands through the lower torso to the upper chest, filling the body fully with calm energy. The exhalation extends evenly, releasing tension into the quiet environment. The mother's breath follows a natural alignment, extending slightly to match the slow pace of the night. The children's breaths stretch subtly, aligning with the fading rhythm, forming a single, coherent flow of energy, warmth, and quiet throughout the household. The soft illumination of the lantern accentuates the smooth, even textures of the blankets, highlighting folds and edges without creating contrast that disrupts calm. The room's light remains stable, supporting the continued blending of minor sounds into the overarching stillness. Every element in the home, the blankets, the bodies beneath them, the gentle warmth, and the subtle light, works harmoniously to maintain the quiet, absorbing even the faintest noises into the fabric of the night. The silence grows more complete as the house seems to exhale alongside the family, holding the space in steady balance. The small sounds of movement, air, or objects now barely register, existing only as a faint vibration beneath the dominant calm. Every breath, every slight shift, every element of warmth and light contributes to the perception of complete quiet, reinforcing the sense of safety and unbroken tranquility. The children, fully supported by the blankets, lie still, inhaling and exhaling in long, continuous cycles. The father's breathing remains deliberate, steady, and unhurried. The mother's breath maintains a soft, synchronized rhythm, creating a continuous, shared flow of calm throughout the family. Each minor noise, each faint environmental sound merges entirely into the overarching stillness, fading into imperceptibility. The home holds this quiet consistently, layers of warmth, light, and protective presence forming a stable cocoon around the occupants. The woven blankets continue to absorb minor movements and distribute gentle pressure, ensuring the children and parents remain fully supported. The lantern remains steady, casting soft illumination that emphasizes comfort and security without introducing abrupt visual or auditory stimulation. Every breath, every subtle shift, and every faint sound blends seamlessly into the quiet, creating a single, unbroken environment of calm. The home, the blankets, the bodies, the light, and the air work together to maintain a continuous, enveloping stillness. The minor noises of the outside world are no longer distinguishable, and the room exists in a state of uninterrupted calm that allows each occupant to settle completely into restorative rest. The final faint noises, the subtle movement of blankets, the last faint creak of a floorboard, the gentle rustle of distant leaves, disappear entirely, leaving only complete, uniform silence. The home is steady, warm, and softly illuminated, holding the family in a perfectly aligned state of calm. The children, mother, and father lie fully supported beneath the woven blankets, fully integrated into the silence. The quiet is absolute, pervasive, and enduring, forming a continuous, gentle presence that sustains rest, comfort, and complete peace throughout the house. Chapter 19. Guide the listener to feel peaceful, supported, and ready for rest. A deep sense of peace settles through the house, filling every corner and layer of the home, creating a steady feeling of being fully supported and ready for complete rest. The warmth of the woven blankets surrounds each member of the family, pressing gently against the body to provide quiet stability. Each breath draws in calm, steady energy, expanding naturally through the chest and abdomen, and each exhale releases remaining tension, leaving only a profound sense of safety and relaxation. The father rests fully, his body aligned with the slow, steady rhythm of the night. Every muscle feels supported by the mat and blankets beneath him, the gentle weight forming a constant, reassuring presence. His breathing flows evenly, inhaling comfort and exhaling any remaining strain, creating a continuous pulse of calm that extends outward and interacts harmoniously with the rest of the room. The mother lies nearby, feeling the steady warmth from both the blankets and the subtle glow of the lantern. Her body relaxes further with each measured breath, drawing in stability and reassurance, while releasing all lingering tension. The slow expansion and contraction of her chest form a natural rhythm, synchronizing subtly with the father and children, reinforcing a unified sense of calm throughout the space. The children remain nestled close, their bodies pressed gently against one another, and fully supported by the woven blankets beneath. Each inhalation is slow and deep, filling the lungs completely and spreading warmth through every limb. Each exhalation flows evenly, softening minor movements and creating an even more stable environment. The entire room becomes a shared network of support, where the weight of blankets, the steady rhythm of breathing, and the warmth of the space combine to form a continuous, enveloping calm. The lantern's glow remains soft and consistent, illuminating the textures of the blankets and the subtle outlines of each resting form. The light does not intrude, but enhances the perception of comfort, highlighting the safe, steady presence of the household. Shadows remain still, forming a background layer that blends seamlessly with the warmth, the gentle breathing, and the soft atmosphere of the room. The house itself seems to reinforce the feeling of support, its walls radiating the accumulated warmth of the day and absorbing minor noises or movements without disturbance. The air within is steady and unhurried, carrying only calm and even pressure. Each subtle sound, the faint shift of a blanket, the soft intake of air in the lungs, or the minor settling of the floor, becomes part of the continuous rhythm of reassurance, enhancing the perception of stability and readiness for complete rest. The father takes a slow, measured breath, allowing the air to expand fully through his lungs. Each exhale releases the final remnants of tension in his shoulders, back, and limbs. The mother follows with a similarly long and steady breath, maintaining a gentle, flowing rhythm. The children's breathing is naturally aligned, forming a quiet, harmonious pattern that fills the room with gentle energy and reinforces the feeling of support, calm, and readiness to sleep. The blankets absorb subtle motions, distributing gentle pressure evenly across the body and maintaining steady warmth. Every fold, layer, and contour contributes to a sense of being held fully and securely. The woven textures press lightly but consistently against the skin, reinforcing the stability of the body's position and the comfort of the mind. Each breath deepens, each exhale becomes more even, and the room as a whole exists in a continuous state of calm alignment. The faint glow of the lantern touches each surface softly, emphasizing the boundaries of the blankets and the bodies resting beneath them without causing distraction. The warm illumination, combined with the steady breathing, creates a sense of quiet order. Each person's body is supported, each breath synchronized with the surrounding stillness, and each subtle shift absorbed naturally, forming a seamless experience of restfulness. The children nestle further beneath the blankets, their small hands resting naturally, their heads positioned comfortably on the mats. Their bodies feel fully supported and secure, their breathing slow, deep, and even. Each inhalation spreads warmth and calm through the body, and each exhalation releases all minor tension. The steady rhythm of breathing reinforces a profound sense of readiness, ensuring that the family is fully prepared to enter a state of uninterrupted rest. The father's presence adds a foundational layer of calm, his chest rising and falling in long, steady cycles. The mother mirrors this rhythm, her own breathing extending slowly, creating a supportive network of calm throughout the household. Each inhalation draws in warmth, security, and steady energy, and each exhalation releases any lingering awareness of movement or sound, leaving only a profound sense of support and peace. The woven blankets maintain full contact, adjusting naturally to minor shifts in body position. The texture and weight of the layers reinforce stability, ensuring that every part of each body is held evenly. The room's air remains cool but steady, supporting the perception of safety and deep calm. Every breath taken in this environment contributes to the continuous reinforcement of comfort, readiness, and a sense of being fully supported in place. The lantern's glow is steady, highlighting subtle folds and textures without creating harsh contrasts or movements. The light interacts gently with shadows on the walls, enhancing the perception of a contained and secure environment. The warmth of the blankets and the slow, even rhythm of breathing combine with this illumination to form a complete, steady sense of security. The father inhales deeply once more, drawing the calm energy of the room fully into his body, feeling support in every limb and along every spine of his being. The exhale flows naturally, releasing minor tension without effort. The mother follows with a long, measured breath, the children's inhalations and exhalations aligning with the room's overall rhythm. The subtle, steady energy of the household forms a continuous current that reinforces the sense of readiness for rest. The children's forms are entirely relaxed beneath the soft layers, every muscle eased, every limb supported, and every movement gently absorbed. The blankets conform to each curve and contour, maintaining steady warmth and gentle pressure. The quiet illumination from the lantern highlights the room without distraction, supporting the final stages of calm and the readiness for sleep. The house itself participates in the rhythm, absorbing ambient sounds and maintaining steady warmth and gentle illumination. Minor movements from the children, the shifting of blankets, or subtle floorboard creaks are fully integrated into the overall stillness, fading quickly and seamlessly. The combined presence of light, warmth, support, and steady breathing forms a complete environment of readiness for deep, restorative rest. The father, mother, and children exist fully, supported, each breath extending naturally, each exhalation releasing the last traces of strain. The blankets, the warmth of the room, and the gentle illumination work together to hold every body in alignment and comfort. The subtle presence of calm energy fills the space, reinforcing the sensation of being entirely safe, supported, and prepared for deep sleep. The final alignment of breathing, body, and environment ensures a pervasive sense of peace. The blankets maintain steady contact, the light remains soft, and the air is calm and still. Every minor sound is absorbed, every subtle shift is distributed gently, and every breath continues the slow rhythm of calm. The family lies fully supported, the room holding them in quiet security, and each occupant is completely ready to rest, fully enveloped in peaceful stillness, and prepared for uninterrupted sleep. Chapter 20. End with the image of the tiny home resting quietly under the moon. A serene calm settles across the village as the tiny home rests quietly beneath the soft glow of the moon, its presence steady and unchanging in the cool, gentle night. The house sits firmly on the earth, its walls absorbing the stillness of the air and reflecting only the faint, pale light from above. Every detail of the home, from the roof to the wooden door, from the softly illuminated windows to the woven blankets seen faintly inside, exists in perfect alignment with the quiet, undisturbed rhythm of the night. The surrounding landscape stretches silently, with fields and gardens hidden beneath the deepening shadow of darkness, yet softly illuminated by the moon's reflection. Each tree, bush, and distant stone contributes to the steady stillness, its subtle presence supporting the home without intrusion. The faint outlines of the horizon are barely visible, creating a sense of endless calm that extends beyond the tiny home and envelops the surrounding environment. The lantern inside the house continues to emit a gentle, consistent glow, mingling softly with the moonlight and emphasizing the warmth and security within. From this vantage point, the home appears as a small haven, its interior holding the family peacefully asleep, wrapped in warmth and the security of steady, undisturbed night. Every blanket, every mat, and every resting body contributes to the sense of stability and support that defines the house's presence under the moon. The roof, the walls, and the windows absorb the cool air of the evening without disturbance, maintaining a steady, calm temperature inside, while allowing the outside world to remain distant and unobtrusive. The faint hum of natural life beyond the home, like distant trees swaying slightly, or a whisper of wind moving across the fields, blends entirely into the surrounding quiet, reinforcing the perception of complete restfulness. The children remain nestled under the woven blankets, fully supported and still. Their gentle breathing forms a quiet rhythm, perfectly in sync with the warmth of the blankets, the steady illumination, and the calm presence of the home. The parents lie nearby, bodies aligned and supported by the mats and layers beneath, every muscle fully relaxed. Each subtle movement, every soft inhalation and exhalation contributes to the perception of the home as a secure, unwavering place, resting fully beneath the moonlight. The moon casts its pale reflection across the roof and the surrounding ground, highlighting the contours of the home without creating shadows that disturb the calm. The illumination is soft and even, emphasizing the texture of the walls, the smoothness of the roof, and the gentle glow from the windows, without interfering with the stillness within. The combination of lantern and moonlight creates a quiet harmony, blending indoor warmth with the serene exterior, giving the house a sense of complete integration with its surroundings. The trees nearby stand silently, their leaves barely moving in the lightest breeze. Each small sound of nature is softened by distance, and absorbed into the encompassing calm, contributing subtly to the overall perception of peaceful rest. The fields stretch beyond, dark but steady, holding no motion that might disrupt the gentle night. The house, with all its inhabitants, exists fully in this environment, completely supported by both its physical structure and the steady rhythm of the world around it. The blankets beneath the family's bodies conform fully to their forms, providing consistent pressure, warmth, and support. Every fold and layer adjusts naturally, distributing gentle weight evenly across the mat. The lantern's soft glow reflects off the textures of the blankets, accentuating their presence without causing contrast or distraction. This combination of steady illumination, woven warmth, and still air contributes to the perception that the tiny home is fully resting, secure, and undisturbed beneath the moon. The family's breathing continues in slow, steady cycles, each inhale drawing warmth and calm into the lungs, and each exhale releasing tension completely. The rhythm is synchronized naturally with the steady presence of the home and the quiet environment outside. Even the smallest movements, such as a child shifting slightly beneath the blanket or a parent adjusting the mat beneath, are absorbed without disruption, maintaining the continuous perception of safety and readiness for complete rest. The door remains softly closed, holding the cool air outside while protecting the warmth inside. The wooden panels reflect the moonlight faintly, contributing to the overall perception of structure and stability. Each panel and window frame absorbs the surrounding calm, reinforcing the sense of the home as a place fully prepared for rest, untouched by distraction, and aligned entirely with the rhythm of night. The subtle glow from the lantern and the faint illumination from the moon highlight the soft contours of the sleeping forms within. Each body is supported fully by the blankets, the mats, and the floor beneath, every limb at rest, every muscle relaxed. The children's gentle whispers and movements from earlier have ceased, leaving only slow, steady breathing that matches the calm energy permeating the entire household. The air inside the home remains steady and balanced, carrying warmth, quiet, and a sense of support to every corner of the room. The combination of weight, warmth, light, and rhythm creates an environment in which each occupant feels fully prepared for uninterrupted sleep. The tiny home, from the roof to the floorboards, participates silently in this rhythm, providing stability and comfort that supports every form within. The moonlight gradually shifts across the roof, moving slowly with the passage of time, yet it does not disturb the calm. The faint shadows it creates are minimal, barely perceptible, and fully absorbed by the room's interior, the lantern's glow, and the blanket's woven textures. The combined effect is one of perfect stillness, an unbroken perception of restfulness that extends from the smallest corner of the interior to the surrounding landscape outside. The home exists entirely in a state of quiet alignment, where every object, every breath, and every layer of warmth contributes to the perception of safety and calm. The lantern continues to illuminate the interior softly. The blankets provide steady support, and the children and parents remain fully at ease. The house itself is stable, steady, and fully present, a quiet structure holding all inside in a continuous state of comfort beneath the moon. The fields and distant trees beyond the home exist in harmony with its stillness, every faint movement or sound absorbed and integrated into the pervasive calm. The house radiates quiet confidence, an unshakable sense of support that is reflected in every breath, every layer of warmth, and every gentle flicker of light. The tiny home rests fully, completely prepared for the deep, uninterrupted night, and every occupant within mirrors this tranquility in body and mind. The final image of the night is one of complete stillness, with the tiny home resting under the steady light of the moon, surrounded by faintly illuminated fields and distant, quiet trees. Every blanket, every breath, Every body and every element of the environment contributes to the unified perception of peace, support, and readiness for rest. The home remains secure, warm, and fully at ease, holding its inhabitants in perfect calm, prepared for the gentle continuation of the night, entirely at rest beneath the soft, steady moonlight. The quiet expands fully across the home, the surrounding landscape, and the soft light above. Every shadow, every surface, and every breath exists in balance. The tiny home is steady, the lantern and moonlight complement one another, and the family within remains fully supported. The air, the warmth, the blankets, and the silence merge into a single environment of uninterrupted calm. The night continues in this state, with the home resting securely, every occupant aligned with the quiet rhythm, fully prepared for the ongoing rest and peace that the night provides.